And welcome to Newton Falls Stadium. Temperatures, it's perfect in the mid-40s. John Batcher along with DJ Robinson. And DJ, it's been a couple of weeks, couple of postponements. Disappointing playoff loss last week for Newton Falls against St. Thomas Aquinas. But it just feels great to be back in the booth and doing high school football here in Newton Falls.
It seems like we've been gone for about a month. And just to see football here at the stadium is a wonderful thing. Like you said, it's a good night for football. The weather is great. I'm freezing, but, it looks like you would be freezing, too.
I'll tell you what, I've got long johns on. I've got my St. Vincent College hoodie on. I've got everything going. And we've got to get a big shout out before we go too much further to Tiger Den Pizza, because they supplied us with some delicious tasting pizza and free drink too. So I'm pretty happy about that. The teams, as you see, warming up on the field. It's homecoming night here in Newton Falls, so it is in fact a special night for the seniors.
It's a special night for us too with the free pizza. The pizza is amazing. But yes, it is a very special night, homecoming. These are the type of games that you just want to be in. And with everything that's going on, playing football is amazing. Having homecoming at your stadium is amazing, and just being out here and enjoying the little things in life like high school football is absolutely amazing.
DJ, pardon me if I'm going to grab a piece of.
Oh no, go right ahead.
Can you get this? Tiger Den
Absolutely.
Pizza. Look at this. Look at Tiger Den Pizza. It is great. The crew thanks everybody for Tiger Den Pizza. If you call now, you can get some by halftime. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
That's pretty good. All right, so we got some pizza going.
Because you're not getting any of ours.
Man, I'm glad they fed us well here. Newton Falls are 0-4 as I swallow down my pizza.
Rough season.
Greg Lazari said we have to fix this, and it's going to take more than 1 year to fix it.
Oh, yeah. Just from what he inherited last year, you can see a lot of things have changed from last year. Main thing was the lack of discipline, that I feel that they had. And speaking around town, there was others that thought the same. And with Lazari, he's a no-nonsense kind of guy, and it shows in the team. You can see that things that have gone on previously and now under the Lazari regime, you have to start with the little things before you can go ahead and start putting, a winning formula together. So they do have something stirring really great here in Newton Falls.
And just to review the season, which has been an odd season due to the COVID interruptions, the Tigers come in at 0-4, losing their opener 25-14 to Liberty. Then they lose 20-7 to Camel, 23-12 in the game you and I did here on seniors night, and it seems like forever ago, back on September the 18th. And then last Saturday in the Division 6 playoffs, they were down 34-0 at halftime, and they succumbed easily to St. Thomas Aquinas, losing to the Knights 48-0.
I mean, if you look at that, that's usually a playoff perennial team. So for a team that is still trying to find their way in the Tigers, going against a juggernaut like that, it's unfortunate, but unfortunately that's what happens with the season, especially with the crazy season that we're having. You're not expecting those big games so soon, but it's just play when you can, and it just drew the short stick at that time.
And if you think about it, too, DJ, sandwiched in between there, 2 postponements due to COVID problems in Crestview and Champions. So, for all terms and purposes, Newton Falls hadn't been on the field in 3 weeks when they went into playoff action against St. Thomas.
Yeah, when you go and you're just playing, you're practicing against, offense and defense, and then you go out and you actually have game time. Game speed is a lot different than practice speed. You can slow things down during practice. During the game, it's, hit or miss. And unfortunately, that Thomas Aquinas, they came ready.
And one of the changes we expect to see, the last time we were here, Nick Oyster was a quarterback. We understand that he's going to go back to wide receiver. He's adept at playing multiple positions, and we're going to see a different quarterback in tonight's action for the Tigers.
Yes, as of right now, from what was being reported, that it was going to be Nick Rapsack starting this game this evening. Going down and looking down on the field, there's multiple quarterbacks that are practicing, but as of right now with the practice, we do have Rapsack under center. So it's going to be nice to see, what he brings to the table. I do know that he is very agile, very, shifty, makes a lot of good decisions. And as of right now, I think that that's a good choice.
And we're going to head down to the field for what is homecoming night here in Newton Falls.
Hi, guys. So I'm here with Lene Downing and Zach Derry, last year's King and Queen. How are you guys today? Good.
Doing all right, yeah.
How's it feel being out of school and, how are you coping with everything being new?
Not good.
Why?
Because it's all so new. I don't like it.
Yeah, college can be tough. How are you doing, Zach?
I'm doing all right. It's just kind of strange to see like the difference from what it was last year, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big difference with the virus. But how do you guys feel coming back and being able to crown the next people?
I mean, good, I guess.
I'm pretty excited. It's tradition, so.
Yeah, it's a nice tradition. Well, thank you guys. All right, back up to you guys.
Thank you, Alyssa, our sideline reporter for tonight's action. And it's got the feel as the cars go around the track. It is, in fact, homecoming night and the prom and the queen of homecoming 2020. It's quite an honor. If I could go back many years ago in high school, DJ.
Yeah,
You and I went to the same high school, by the way, which
we
is
actually
ironic.
did. That was just really amazing to come in now. We can talk about our alma mater and then coming and doing a game. It feels like my alma mater. I don't know if it does to you, but it does to me here. It's a great hometown feel. Everybody is just so elated with what's going on around town. And there's a lot of things that are happening for the village of Newton Falls. And this is just one of the many traditions that they do have. And it's absolutely amazing to see the kids get the representation they deserve.
Well, Greg Lazar was the last winning coach here in Newton Falls. Unfortunately, that was during his first run, and that was some 11 years ago, and he's not going to get a winning campaign this year, but they can go out on a high note. They can get experience for the kids coming back next year, and I'm sure that's what he's looking forward to. Tonight, they have an opportunity to do that. They're going to play a Division 7 school, a team, albeit with a lot of team speed, the 2-5 Sebring Trojans out of the MVAC.
I remember actually playing them back in 2002, and they were, a team that was up and coming. This is a good game that they can go ahead and gauge against for the Tigers. Right now, like you said, it could get back in the winning ways, and this would definitely be one of those games to go ahead and start that trend, to go ahead and build for next year. Like you said, get the seniors out on a high note and send them something, at least, get one victory under the belt, and then it starts building from there. As of right now, we don't know how many games we're going to continue to play after this.
There's Cole Marquette, number 6. I read on Facebook his parents are so proud of him and everything he's done. The Marquette family absolutely synonymous with Newton Falls, and you see the seniors going around the track and being paraded honorably. For the Sebring Trojans, a Division 7 school, they lose to McDonald 40-6. Dropped to Middle Ridge 53-14. Jackson Milton beat them 42-22. Then they finally got their first win against a 1-6 Waterloo Vikings team, beating them 20-6 a few weeks back. But then the defensive ugliness stepped up again as Louisville beat them 43-22, 39-18 losers to Western Reserve. And then last Thursday they beat Matthews by a count of 48-20 on the road. So, point being, for second-year head coach Matt Seidel, they do have some offensive prowess, but they seem to give up a lot of points, which could set the scene tonight for a lot of offensive fireworks from both sides.
Well, if you look at it, just the team is, if you look at the Newton Falls roster and you look at the Sebring roster, there is a big difference, especially with the size of the school, where you have a lot of these guys playing both ways, and they just don't have a choice but to play both ways in order to field a team. Whereas Newton Falls, you do have some two-way players, but at the same time, if you end up having somebody if somebody gets injured, then there's always that next man up mentality. Sebring doesn't have they don't have the factors of doing so because they are so small. And with the roster that small, it does really hurt as far as the depth chart.
Boy, you aren't kidding. And just the roster that we were handed here for the 2020 Trojans football team, 23, 24 guys deep, and that's not a lot of depth, so they can't afford the injuries tonight. But when you look at them, they do have some great playmakers, and it all begins with the Frederick brothers, Elijah and Noah Frederick. These two can both fly. They're a pair of juniors, and they're somebody that Coach Matt Seidel will be heavily depending upon offensively tonight.
They're definitely the backbone of this team. They can see how far they can take them, and I expect nothing but the best from these two gentlemen.
Cody Horning, another player to keep in your eye on tonight. Frankie Lozoya, one of the leaders up front, as you continue to see the homecoming parade going through at the cars, and it's just a special night. And go back and picture yourself in high school. And although we wore crushed velour tuxes back when I was doing this, but a long, long time ago, but it is a really special night. And it's great that Newton Falls can, in fact, have a homecoming and what's, for all intents and purposes, been a crazy fall football season.
you hit the nail on the head as far as crazy football season. I mean, 1 minute you're playing one team, the next minute the games get canceled, then you turn around and now you're playing a team that you had no idea, what the depth chart is. You just happen to see them scheduled on the roster. You're just like, hey, let's go. We just want to play some football. But back to the Crush Velour Tuxes. Yeah, there's some questions about that.
I thought I was sporting it back then. Both teams, too, have Sebring in many ways parallels the Newton Falls program. Sebring has never been to the postseason. Now, it's a basketball school. You think of Coach Brook from a long time ago. They were a juggernaut at the lower level in high school basketball. But for football, since the OHSAA instituted high school football playoffs way back in 1972, Sebring has never been there, so they're trying to achieve history. They're coming off a 2-8 campaign last year. They're already 2-5 this year. We're going to head down to the field and get ready for some of the ceremonies for homecoming here at Newton Falls Stadium.
How's that? Okay.
At this time, please rise for the playing of the Newton Falls alma mater. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Newton Falls High School 2020 Homecoming festivities. Tonight, we would like to honor our homecoming court and crown our 2020 Homecoming King and Queen. First of all, we would like to thank last year's royalty, King Zach Derry and Queen Lene Downing, for taking the time to come back this evening to crown our new royalty. Now for our 2020 homecoming court. First, Bailey Adams. Bailey Adams is the daughter of Brian and Tricia Adams. See, she is a 4.0 student and has been class president for 3 years. Bailey is the secretary of the National Honor Society and was also a Buckeye Girls State delegate. Bailey is a four-year letter winner and a 3-year captain in soccer. She was awarded first and second team All-American Conference for defense, honorable mention All-District, and both honorable mention and first team All-County. She is a 3-year letter winner. She's a 3-year letter winner in the cheerleading team and a 4-year letter winner in the track team. After graduation, Bailey hopes to attend the West Point Military Academy to pursue chemical engineering in the United States Army. Gavin Burbish. Gavin Burbish is being escorted by his parents, Blaze and Jackie Burbish. Gavin is a 3-year letterman in soccer and loves the game. He loves all sports. He is a 4-year letterman in choir as well. Gavin stays on the honor roll and loves spending time with his friends and family. Gavin loves to make people smile. Gavin helps and volunteers in the local food pantry every chance he gets. Gavin is undecided where he will attend college, but is interested in fitness and nutrition. Morgan Briner. Morgan Briner is the daughter of Jeremy and Melissa Briner. She was a Buckeye Girls State delegate in her junior year. She is also a 3-year student council member. Morgan is a member of the National Honor Society and a 4-year member of the Key Club. Morgan is a 4-year letter winner and 2-year captain in soccer. After graduation, Morgan plans to study advanced medical imaging technology at the University of Cincinnati. Josh Honeycutt. Josh Honeycutt is the son of Hazel and Brad Davis. Josh is a 4-year letter winner in basketball and baseball. He was awarded 3rd team All-Northeast Ohio, 1st team All-American Conference, and 1st team All-Trumbull County in basketball, and 2nd team All-Conference for baseball. Josh was part of a league championship his junior basketball season and has participated in the Tiger basketball camp for upcoming Tigers for many years. Josh's favorite memories from high school are his no-hitter he pitched in the home opener against Edgewood his sophomore year and breaking the record for most wins in a season in basketball last year. He hopes to have a great season in both basketball and baseball this year. After graduation, Josh plans to attend college with an undecided major and to play either baseball or basketball. Josh would like to thank his coaches, teammates, and especially his family for shaping him into the person he is today. Chloe Downing. Chloe Downing is the daughter of Brian and Amber Downing. In her entire academic career, she has never received anything less than an A on her report card. Chloe is advanced in art and uses her talent to create handmade cards. She was active in volleyball and basketball up to her sophomore year, where she mysteriously fell ill. Chloe was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a rare genetic connective tissue disorder that affects the collagen production. She went from being a star student and incredibly active to not being able to walk, eat, see, think clearly, and sometimes even talk. Chloe does not seek pity. She has more gained knowledge and experience than any physical pain can top. Thanks to frequent chiropractic visits, dedication, and lots of prayer, this month marks the 4th month since relearning to walk. Losing everything that once defined you makes your priorities shift, and Chloe rediscovered her passion in animals. After high school, Chloe plans on majoring in zoology to become a wildlife biologist. She hopes to get into the dog show ring and build a reputable breeding program of her own. Ian King. Ian King is the son of Sean and Tammy King. Ian is a 4-year letter winner in football and is one of the team captains. He is a 3-year letter winner in basketball and 1-year letter winner in baseball. Ian's favorite memory from high school is breaking the school records for wins in a season and winning the league championship in basketball. After graduation, Ian plans on pursuing a career in welding. Ian would like to thank his family for always being supportive and for driving him to be his best self. Ian is also very thankful for his coaches and friends. Madison Hayden. Madison Hayden is the daughter of Lori and Eric Hayden. Madison is a member of the National Honor Society and was chosen as a Buckeye Girls State Delegate. She is a 5-year member of the marching band. Madison is part of the Exercise Science and Sports Medicine program at TCTC. Madison is a 4-year letter winner in soccer and basketball. She is also a 2-year captain in both basketball and soccer teams. She was awarded First Team All-County for soccer and was awarded First Team All-County and Second Team All-Conference in basketball her junior year. She is a 1-year letter winner in softball and track her freshman and sophomore year. After graduation, Madison plans to attend college and major in sports medicine. She also plans to continue playing basketball. Joey Klein. Joey Klein is the son of Kenneth Klein and Tanya Klein. Joey is a 4-year letter winner in basketball. He was awarded First Team All-League, First Team All-Northeast Ohio, Special Mention All-Ohio, and was also the Ohio Max Preps Athlete of the Week. Joey is also actively involved in the Grace Fellowship Youth Group. Joey's favorite memory is breaking the school record for wins in a season with 19 and winning the league championship. He hopes to do more than that this year. After graduation, Joey plans on attending college and playing college basketball. Courtney Hagens. Courtney Hagens is the daughter of Rachel and Anthony Matozzi. Courtney is a 3-year letter winner in volleyball and basketball. She's a 1-year member of the broadcast and yearbooks squads. She received Second Team All-County and Honorable Mention All-Northeast Ohio for basketball. Courtney leads the volleyball team in blocks and kills. She was also part of the 2019-20 district champion team in volleyball. Courtney plans to attend college after high school, discover her major, and continue her volleyball career. Cole Marquette. Cole Marquette is the son of Colleen and Tony Marquette. Cole is a 3-year letter winner in basketball and 4-year letter winner in football. He was named Second Team All-League and Northeast Ohio All-District Honorable Mention his junior year in basketball. He was named First Team All-League for football in his sophomore season. Cole was also part of a league championship his junior basketball season. Cole's favorite memories from high school are scoring his first touchdown in his sophomore year against Waterloo and breaking the record for most wins in a season for basketball his junior year. After graduation, Cole plans on attending college to play football, but is undecided where. He would like to thank his mom, dad, and brother Cruz for always supporting him at all his games and for pushing him every day to become better. He would also like to thank all his coaches, teammates, and friends for making him the person he is today. Olivia Van Overbeck. Olivia Van Overbeck is the daughter of Stephanie Irwin and Nicholas Van Overbeck. She is being escorted by her mother, stepfather, and sister, Stephanie, Mark, and Addison Irwin. She was a Buckeye Girls State delegate. Olivia is a 4-year member of the Student Council and is Student Body President. She is also President of the National Honor Society. Olivia is a varsity letterman in both track and soccer. She is the goalie, team captain, and was awarded All-County Goalie Runner-Up last year. In track, she went to districts for the 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and high jump. She advanced in regionals in the 100-meter hurdles and the high jump. She placed 9th in the region for the hurdles. Olivia has been part of the band for 8 years and marching band for 6. She has competed in solo and ensemble for concert band and is a 2020 drum major of the marching band. After graduation, Olivia plans to either go to Ohio State University or continue her track and field career at Youngstown State University while majoring in music education. Blake Spurlock. Blake Spurlock is the son of Steve and Teresa Spurlock. Blake was named as a prom bouncer his sophomore year. He is vice president of the National Honor Society. Blake has been a member of the Student Council all 4 years of high school and is the vice president of the student body. Blake is a 4-year letter winner in soccer. He is the captain of the soccer team, and the senior year was named Honorary Defenseman of the Year. His sophomore year and second team All-District his junior year. He is a 4-year letter winner in track. He has been in the band for 6 years with accomplishments in the OMEA solo and ensemble for saxophone and piano. After graduation, Blake has been accepted into the Kent State University and plans to go into the nursing program. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for our entire homecoming court. And now it is time for our coronation. First, congratulations to our 2020 Homecoming King, Blake Spurlock. Now, each year, it is a Tiger tradition that every Queen candidate receives a sealed rose. There are 5 white roses and 1 orange rose. The candidate who receives the orange rose will be crowned as the new 2020 Homecoming Queen. At this time, ladies, please open your bottle. Congratulations to Chloe Downing, our new 2020 Homecoming Queen. Newton Falls, please give a round of applause for our 2020 Homecoming King, Queen, and Court. Thank you.
That was so cute. I'm so excited. I think I am more nervous than her. Yeah. Thank you.
A lot of money comes from over kidding. Oh my gosh.
You were more nervous than her.
What a relief.
Oh, man.
The cars are going to have to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the restrooms this evening are closed, but there are porta-johns on both the home and visitor sides. So please use the porta-johns on both the home and visitor sides of the stadium.
Blake, congratulations.
Well, I got to tell you that Gregory Films does a superb job in the covering of the homecoming, and congratulations, Newton Falls High School 2020 homecoming king and queen, Blake Spurlock and Chloe Downey.
That's just amazing, just to go out there and, you're standing out there and you just you have no idea what's going to happen. And then when you get your name called, it's just a wonderful feeling.
Here come the Newton Falls Tigers onto the football field. Again, they are led by head coach Greg Lazzari, who had hoped to turn things around. He realized it's going to be a multi-year project, DJ. This is his second go-around, his first time back since he toiled in many different schools along the way. But he says it's good to be home, and it would really bode well for 2021 if he can somehow get a victory or at least get some points on the board and give these kids confidence. Hey, we can score against football teams.
Well, it's really hard when you're going back and forth between quarterback changes, and that's really, the problem. The defense does their thing for a while, and then just kind of, just they're on the field a lot longer than the offense. So if they can fix, some of those mistakes tonight, this should be a really good game.
The Newton Falls Tigers, as you see, lined up along the near sideline, will be in the home black jerseys with the black pants and the orange numerals, and Sebring in their traditional Trojan-like gold and purple. And we're getting ready for the playing, I believe, of the national anthem. And we'll get that underway just momentarily, DJ. But again, it's a perfect night for football. Temperature in the mid-40s. And I got a feeling we might have a good ball game here tonight, partner.
I definitely agree. Two teams that are very hungry for a victory. You can't get any better than that.
Absolutely. And Newton Falls, of course, looking for the first win of the year. 0-4. The Sebring Trojans coming off an impressive win at Matthews last Thursday, beating the Mustangs by a count of 48-20. They're led by 36-year-old second-year head coach Matt Seidel. He's a Mount Union graduate, and he promises to try to do some really good things for the Sebring Trojans, who also have to turn their fortunes around because they've been losing a lot lately. Now back down to the field. My friend, I would say we're about ready to play football. You excited?
Absolutely. This is what we've all been waiting for. And the fireworks are going just like they do to start off every home Newton Falls game.
Yep, and the Trojans we mentioned out of the MVAC, 2 up and 5 down thus far, but they've put some points on the board this year, DJ, as we talked about, with numbers such as 22, 20, 22, and 48 up on the board. So they can certainly score with the offense. They rely a lot on speed, and we talked about the Frederick brothers at the outset of the broadcast. They are the cogs that make this machine run, if you will.
As we were going over the roster, this team is actually very, very well. There's not a lot of juniors. I mean, there's not a lot of freshmen and sophomores. This team is experienced. They got a lot of juniors and seniors on this roster, so they do have some understanding to go ahead and put the gears to work. So let's just go ahead and see if Newton Falls can go ahead and clean up some of the things that they've had some mishaps with, and especially with down there we got Nick Rapsack warming up. Let's go ahead and see how he does in his first start, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and it looks like the Newton Falls Tigers are going to be kicking off right to left along your television screens. Again, donned in all black with the orange numerals. And the Sebring Trojans contrastly in the traveling white with the purple pants and the purple helmets. And we're about ready to begin on what's really a beautiful night for high school football. John Batcho, DJ Robinson, and Gregory Films all teaming up. Newton Falls television broadcast of the Tigers football. And unfortunately, it appears that this is going to be the last home game of the year.
Very sad sight to see, just to hear, just because of the environment and what, football does, especially at a high school level, brings the town together. And, we got other sports coming up, but there's just nothing like football to me.
And the Tigers put the foot into the football. The Sebring will take it out the 21-yard line on the far sideline. Good running room, 35, 40, and already explosive fireworks as the Trojans take the football from their own 21 to the near midfield stripe, just shy of it. And Frederick, we talked about his explosive speed, and he showcases it on the opening kickoff with a return of 28 yards.
That's going to be something you're going to have to watch, especially at the fact that, opening kickoff and already go ahead and showing the speed that you were talking about during pregame. Go ahead and see if you can slow him down at all. Right now, got Dylan Johnson coming out at quarterback. What do we know about him?
Well, he's a good quarterback, but he had to replace a kid named Peterson last year that was a three-year starter, so there was a lot of pressure on him. Dylan Johnson at quarterback. He's got a back to his right and to his left. Out of the shotgun, he's going to hand it off of right tackle, and pretty good running room for the Trojans. They're going to get across the Tigers' 45 down to about the 43-yard line. So an impressive run off the right side on the first play from offensive line of scrimmage, and Sebring quickly up to call the next play.
There's nothing like a quick start offense, especially when you get a big chunk of yards on first down. You want to go ahead, and if it works, don't fix it,
Yep, and Elijah Frederick, number 3, you see him there on your screen. He's going to be somebody to keep your eye on. Sebring, not wasting much time. We're in the opening minute of a play. We're scoreless from Newton Falls Stadium. Quarterback takes, handoff, left side again, it's Frederick. And Frederick this time goes the other way and jukes himself for a first down, some pretty good running yardage as he'll move the sticks all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Looks like they went ahead and found a hole going in with Newton Falls defense. As of right now, 2 back-to-back runs, both over 5+ yards. You're going to want to move some guys in the box.
Dylan Johnson's your quarterback, 6'1", 185-pound senior. And talked about, too, that he had a tall order as he had to replace a 3-year starter from last year in Peterson at quarterback. Shotgun formation, man in motion from left to right. Now he's going to turn a reverse course. Handoff again, that's Frederick. Frederick juking his way around the left end, and he's free on the far sideline. Frederick down inside the 15-yard line, near the 10-yard line, and they're going to spot the football dead at around the 11. Explosive run that time once again for Frederick.
But unfortunately, there's some laundry on the field, and what it looks like is a little bit of holding.
Let's take a look at it, an instant replay right here.
go ahead and you see him come up the left side. Don't know if we ended up getting the shot of the hold itself, if it was the hold, but as of right now, you can see it was an illegal block, mind you. Apologize, but yeah, as you see that run right there, that was something that Newton Falls caught a break on, because it looks like Sebring 3 plays, they're just pounding the football.
And it's all Elijah Frederick, number 3. Kid's just 5'8", but he's 171 pounds, so that's a lot of weight on a 5'8" frame. And again, Sebring will try to regroup after having that nifty run nullified. 10:16 to go in the first quarter. John Bacho and DJ Robinson were live from Newton Falls. Sebring Trojans and the Newton Falls Tigers. Johnson once again will work out of the shotgun. Has 2 backs flanked to each side, and what do we have here? A penalty before the play can get off. It was an attempted handoff to Cody Horning. Looked like an end-around play from left to right, but it's going to come back. Sebring immediately flagged as that play got underway.
Yeah, went ahead and they said illegal motion. Look, quarterback was down there trying to explain to the ref that, he's going ahead and picking his leg up. Unfortunately, the ref was looking the same, and now they're going to go ahead and discuss it.
Usually you don't win in the discussion with the striped men, but this might be an exception. He's picking up the penalty, and he's going to wave it off. So it worked.
As you just said, you literally just said that. That happens, and hey, Sebring caught a break.
Don't you see what I'm doing out here? Dylan Johnson, number 20, he's your quarterback. Sebring working off the left side of the field. Out of the shotgun formation, take, handoff, right side, not much running room. Good pursuit up front for the Sebring Trojans, for the Newton Falls Tigers on the Sebring Trojans offensive line that time in pushing back. Let's take a look at it.
Well, as you can see, what Sebring's gameplay is they're going to punch you in the mouth with the run. And as of right now, it looks like Newton Falls defense, got it together, and now they went ahead and got a good stop.
At that time, they tried his brother, Elijah's brother, Noah Frederick, off to the right side, but not effective at all. Newton Falls, buoyed by a penalty, and now some good defensive line play. Let's see if they could capitalize. Second down 11, 9:27 with a moving clock in the opening quarter. Shotgun formation, turn, hand, Elijah Frederick. Breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. He's going to get all the way down to what appears about the 33-yard line. So, again, Elijah Frederick, the workhorse, much like a couple of weeks ago we saw with Brookfield and Teandre Craig.
Absolutely. They're literally, this team, as of right now, this is a punch-you-in-the-mouth team. It's the big uglies up front, and it looks like that Sebring is getting a little bit more movement than the Newton Falls defense. Something's going to have to be discussed.
Third down 7, and to get a fresh set of 4, they're going to have to get that football down to about the 26-yard line. Something to keep an eye on as we take a peek along the Newton Falls sideline. Critical play in the opening quarter. Third down 7 for the Sebring offense. Quarterback Johnson looks on his wrist to consult with his play. He's got the dangerous Elijah Frederick off to his right. Motion from left to right. Handoff, and this is the other Frederick. No, a ball is loose late.
Oh, no, they're rolling it down.
And they're going to roll him down from force with the ground. Newton Falls thought they came up with a critical turnover, but not to be, but still a big loss.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great play. You could see it as soon as the play developed. He shot through the gap, and exactly what he was supposed to do, as we see on the replay. Look, he came from the backside, shot the gap, and, well, if they don't see it, then it didn't happen.
Hey, it's our team, man. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't see that, Carter Miller. And it'll bring up 4th and 12, and they're going to have to punt the football away with the clock just under 8 minutes in the opening quarter.
This does not look like a punt formation.
Well, unless they pooch it away. 4th down 12. They will, in fact, go for it, correct. Little flare pass to the left side. Pass is complete, and pretty good running room. This is Frederick, but he's going to come up shy of the necessary first down yardage, and it'll be Newton Falls taking over, but it'll be inside their own 30-yard line at the 29-yard line, but the Tigers come out on offense for the first time.
That was actually a great stop by the Newton Falls defense. As you can see, it looked like they had a lot of running room over on the left side, but good home tackling. As soon as you get a chance to touch, you wrap and you drive, and that's exactly what they did. He didn't let him get away and got the big stop.
Trying to give you some scores. A lot of action going on in high school football tonight, including playoff play and regular season play. It's really weird to, participate in the playoffs like Newton Falls did last week and you're already done, and you're still concluding your regular season. Very strange.
This is something that, should be talked about. I mean, usually it's, there's some laundry on the field.
Already, first play.
Never a good way to start out.
No, you don't want to see that, that's for sure. And you are correct. Nick Rapsick is, in fact, a quarterback, and Oyster has gone back to a wide receiver position. He's a flexible one, Oyster. But the game we saw against Brookfield a few weeks ago, boy, he really took a hurt.
That was just a rough game. Everybody was playing hard. A couple of injuries, unfortunately. Lost Ian King for the season. And right now, it's just quarterback by committee.
And it'll hand off along the right side, and on a first, what amounts to a 1st and 15 play, that'll be, I believe, Pendleton.
Yes.
Damian Pendleton, the 6-foot, 160-pound junior on the right side. And he'll get the football down to about, let's say the 32-yard line. Still, he got half the deficit yardage back, 2nd down and 7 to go.
And that's what really irks a coach is when you end up going and you break off a big run like that, especially after a penalty. That could have been a 1st down. But at the same time, you did go ahead and take away some of that penalty and made it a more manageable 2nd down.
Rapsick's your quarterback. He's going to hand to the left side, and not much running room for the Tigers that time. Nick Brown, the ball carrier, 5'7", 165-pound junior. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 after the short carry by Brown.
Yeah, 1 yard, it'll, you chip away. 3rd and 6, it's less manageable down, but let's see if Newton Falls could go ahead and put something together. They might let Rapsack go ahead and air it out. We never know.
I'm curious to see what kind of arm the young man has. He's got 2 backs. It looks like a tight formation, and immediately we have a penalty against Newton Falls that's going to back him up, and you can't have that happen. You're sitting at a 3rd and 6. Now you're sitting at a 3rd and 11 after the flag.
And these are the things that drives coaches crazy. Is just motion penalties. This is the stuff that we were talking about discipline earlier. This is the one where you have to stay home.
And it'll be a legal procedure call, as DJ mentioned. It'll move the football back to the 27-yard line and set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Clock still in motion, 6:48 opening quarter. We're scoreless. Sebring had the football. They were unable to do anything with it, and Newton Falls, with the football now in danger of having to get rid of it, facing a 3rd and long. And out of the shotgun formation, Rapsick's going to throw, and he's going to get a completion, and some nice running, and the football is loose, and it's going to go out of bounds. What a great catch, though, along the near sideline. Luke Dickey that time coming up with the reception, then fumbling, and the ball was a friendly one, a friendly bounce for Newton Falls, fortunately, and they're going to get a 1st down, ironically.
Well, they let him air it out. He made the nice catch, and then next thing you know, holding it out like a loaf of bread. Can't do that. But at the same time, that was a good punch out by the defender. It just happened to fall out of bounds in Newton Falls' way. So, hey, we'll take the 1st down if we can get it.
Absolutely. All the way out to the 46-yard line with Dickey's catch and run. So Rapsick under center. He's going to hand off on the right side, and pretty good running room for Carter Rapsick, as Carter Rapsick will make his way over the 45 down to about the 42-yard line.
And he was dancing and moving on the inside, going out, trying to get defenders to backpedal, as you see on here in the replay. Ends up getting the handoff from his brother, mind you. Go ahead and takes it to the right. See some good blocking out there on the side. Went ahead, tried to shake one defender, broke the tackle. Then it went ahead and just met by a host of Trojans, but not before he got the 1st down.
Not before he picks up the 1st and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
That is an old line.
Yeah. Owen Ague, McDonald. That's where I got that one from.
Sounded familiar.
Clock now under 6 minutes, as you see on your screen at 5:59. Newton Falls working with a 1st down situation and on the move. Still a lot of real estate to go. They're on the 42-yard line of the Sebring Trojans. Rapsick going to roll, going to throw. He's going to have a completion on the left side, and nice job down to about the 30-yard line. And Newton Falls continues to move the football impressively. Nice job that time coming up from the outside on the catch by Shane Battison.
And that's what you want to do. You want to go ahead and get your quarterback moving. He's, making it easy lanes for him to see outside of the back, coming out of the backfield, keeps the play side rolling, ends up getting a good 1st down.
Boy, and Newton Falls sideline along there, a lot of elation, and the kids are amped up. And DJ, you and I talked about it, just to get some points on the board. And you would look at the points that the Sebring defense has given up as you see the Sebring coaching staff not at all pleased so far in the opening quarter, but just to get some points on the board, that inspires so much confidence offensively.
Well, you had 3 penalties, and then you turn around and you turn it into positive yardage. Because at that point, Newton Falls was just kicking themselves in the rear, moving backwards. Well, then you end up getting a nice play, and that's what it is. You want to go ahead and start building, so end up getting a first down, get 3, get 5 yards. That instills confidence in the offense and the offensive line, to which case they can go ahead and just use that momentum to go ahead and try to get 6.
And Coach Seidel and the Trojans call timeout, try to readjust themselves defensively, because right now Newton Falls showcasing a lot of firepower on offense. They have themselves a first down. They have driven quite a bit of yards here against the teeth of the Sebring Trojans 4-3 base defense, and they have the football on the Trojans' 31-yard line. Rapsik going to take quarterback keeper right up the gut, and it's going to prove to be beneficial as he's going to get another fresh set of 4 on a quarterback keeper right up the gut and mark him down for about 12 yards and a first down.
They caught him sleeping on that one. If you watch the replay, they ended up parting the C for Rapsack at that point. And like I said, we were talking about instilling confidence, and that's what they did with the offensive line. You go ahead and you get those chip-aways, get a first down, and now look, now your offensive line is playing hard, and now your skill positions are going to come together, and now you're starting to wear down that Sebring defense, and that's exactly what you want to do in this situation.
Frankie Lazoya on the stop that time, but not before the 12-yard pickup by Rapsik, the quarterback. Zoya, one of the front leaders for the Sebring lines both ways. Pitch to the right side. Good running room, and from right to left, the Newton Falls Tigers are going to get a touchdown on some great improvising for Carter Rapsik that time.
Wow, that was just a huge cutback. There was very big over pursuit by the Sebring defense. They expected him to go play side, and then what did he do? Take one step inside and shook everybody. The defense had no idea what was happening.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, as you go on the replay, look at this. Ends up going outside, goes play side, great blocking down there, and then next thing you know, one cut backwards and open lane for 6.
Everybody was flooded to the right side, and Rapsik, a la Marcus Allen at the Super Bowl 18 performance against the Washington Redskins, able to do that. Can you tell I'm an old Raider fan, too, from the past? Touchdown for Rapsik. That'll cover 19 yards, and offsides on the ensuing extra point attempt against Sebring. And that'll push the ball. It should push the ball a little bit closer. Nonetheless, with 4:59 to go in the first period, well, the penalty's going to be on Newton Falls. Okay, so they'll push him back 5. With 4:59 to go in the first period, Newton Falls has broken the scoreless deadlock, and the Tigers jump on top 6-0.
That was impressive to watch. You've seen a new, reincarnated offense right there. A lot of ground game, got some, play action going in there, and you see exactly what's going on. Like I said, it all has to do with confidence.
And I was correct. The penalty was on Sebring. In fact, moving them half a distance closer to the goal, and they're going to go for 2, and it looks like they're going to be just a bit shy. And all they really needed was 1.5 yards after the penalty, but unfortunately it did go their way. So it's 6-0. There's still confidence because Newton Falls on that impressive cutback run from right to left by Carter Rapsik of 19 yards with 4:59 going in the opening period, jumps on top first.
That's something to be proud of. You go down first drive and you score. That's all you can ask for. That instills a lot of confidence going into your offense. And now your defense, who went ahead and had that huge stop in the first series for Sebring, and now they go ahead and get a chance to get the ball back for their offense.
And I believe they began that drive at their own 29-yard line. That's a 71-yard drive in their first offensive possession.
Very impressive.
Let's see if they can keep it going and keep the momentum as we take a look at the Newton Falls sideline. Newton Falls not accustomed to having leads this year, so again, it's going to be a little bit different for these kids here tonight, hopefully in the confidence department.
As you can see, the smiles down there on the Newton Falls side, and right now, Sebring is going to go ahead and see if they can go ahead and back theirs up with getting 6 of their own.
Well, Coach Matt Seidel of Sebring said You know, we do have this offensive firepower, but our problem has been through the course of the season, we can't seem to put 4 full quarters together of football. We can get off to a good start. We could play in spurts impressively, but we can't do it for 4 quarters. So maybe them not getting off to a good start tonight spells good things for Newton Falls.
That's all you can hope for. And right now, Newton Falls has all the confidence in the world, getting a big stop on defense, scoring on offense. That's all the game is, X's and O's.
X's and O's. And the Tigers will boot the football away, and doing so will be Zach Stinson. Zach, little pooch kick to the far sideline, and the Trojans are going to pick the football up, get to about the 30, 31-yard line, gang tackling, not much of a return there. So the Trojans go to work in trying to answer Newton Falls' touchdown, 69 yards away from the end zone at their own 31.
Special teams, you know, got pretty lucky right there that he actually picked up that ball because it looked like it was going out of bounds.
Sebring. Again, quarterback is Dylan Johnson. Coming into this year, he's done a nice job. Zane Peterson had been a 3-year starter that he replaced at quarterback, so he had tall shoes to fill, and Peterson had done well. When you start 3 years at the high school level, so we take a look at some of the Newton Falls cheerleaders, bundled up appropriately on this mid-October fall night. Quarterback is Johnson. He'll have one back to his right, one to his left, and there's going to be illegal motion. And again, this is going to go against the Sebring the Sebring Trojans.
No.
Or now it's going to go against Newton Falls.
Yeah, about half the defense jumped.
Yeah.
That must have been a hard count.
Yep. I was kind of hoping he got drawn off there. Hey, we're a little bit of homerisms here, right? Got to pull for our Tigers.
Oh, absolutely.
Ball at the 36-yard line. That'll make it a first down and 5 now with 4:54 on a frozen first quarter clock. Johnson under center. Got backs flanked to each side of him. He's going to turn and hand to the right side, and pretty good running room for Noah Frederick as he'll get across the 40 to about the 43-yard line before a whole host of tacklers for Newton Falls push him backwards. Let's take a look.
I mean, it looked like just the meeting of the minds. Like everybody that was on the field was involved in that scrum. Looked like one of those rugby scrums. Everybody came in and just surrounded the ball. And those are some of the worst things that you could be in. Is one of those, and when it's on the ground, dog piles.
Absolutely.
I've been in a couple of those. Those things, they're not pretty.
DJ, I wouldn't get into a scrap with you. You ain't a little guy, man.
Yeah, I'm not too little.
First down and 10, though, as a result of the nifty run. 4:39 to go in the first period. Quarterback again is Dylan Johnson. Signals motion from right to left. He's going to turn and hand to Frederick. Frederick trying to bounce it to the far sideline. He'll do so with limited success as he gets across the 45 out to about the 46-yard line for a pickup of about 3 yards, setting up a second down and about 7.
Looks like Sebring, as of now, is running a lot of east and west, just a lot of sweeps, motions, almost like a modified version of a wing T offense. They have the two backs in the backfield, and you just never know who it's going to. I guess you just have to look at the quarterback's hips to see when he turns to see who he's going to hand off to, because that seems like about 80% of their playbook so far.
Johnson again, he's been working exclusively out of shotgun formation. He's going to turn, he's going to hand, and nothing doing this time. Noah Frederick, number 15, was horse-collared in the backfield, and he's going to be dumped at about the 40-yard line, and that's going to be a huge loss. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 13.
You can't say horse-collared, man. That's a penalty. He was tackled well.
Tackled well,
Tackled
okay.
well.
Horse-collared.
Ended up getting the stop in the backfield. Great job by the defense.
And the clock shows 3:32 in the opening quarter. Newton Falls has, in fact, been impressive. They only had the football one opportunity here in the first quarter, and they made the most out of it on a touchdown run from Carter Rapsick of 19 yards at the 4:59 mark of the opening stanza. Johnson again. He'll work from the gun. Take. Going to roll, pitch, late, left side, and that's Frederick again. Noah Frederick bounces off a couple of tacklers, but not much running room as he'll advance the football just shy of his own 45-yard line.
I mean, he went from first contact, he ended up going and ended up breaking one and almost broke two, ended up breaking 3 tackles before he was actually brought down by big number 40.
And a great job coming up that time for the Newton Falls defense along the sides, but still it's going to bring up a 4th down and 8 and a punting situation as the Trojans drop back in punt formation.
And got to watch for the fake.
And we'll have to wait and see.
pretty
Dropping
good
back, Luke Dickey. And Dickey was deep in punt formation. And the ball's going to go out of bounds.
And there's some laundry on the field.
And there is along the far sideline. You are correct, my friend.
Wonder what the call's going to be.
Well, let's hope it's against the guys in the white and purple.
And let's see, it looks like they're going to move it back.
Greg Lazari out on the field. There appears to be some confusion. And they want some clarification. I thought coaches weren't allowed on the field. No one pays attention.
Yeah, usually
For either side.
Usually you have those guys called get back coaches, that go and grab your coach as he runs out on the field because you don't want him to get a penalty. But when you end up going and the refs end up stopping the game, they kind of get away with that a little bit.
Absolutely. I remember our coaches used to tell us all the time, played for Andy Goybeck, back. Side. I swear, he had one coach that would just, his only job, DJ, was to tell us to get back off the sideline.
Hey, that's a pretty good
Like
gig.
it mattered. We wanted to get a good vantage point, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gig, though.
Yeah,
Just
I
tell
guess.
everybody to get back.
And now, it looks like we have some sort of timeout being called.
Legal procedure against the Trojans.
Legal procedure against Sebring is the call.
Newton Falls will start
Okay,
first
well,
and 10,
looks like the refs didn't know what they were doing, and so what happened was they thought that they accepted the penalty, but then that's what I think that Coach Lazari was, arguing about is the fact that since it was a penalty, he wanted to decline it, and now Newton Falls gets the ball at their own 41-yard line, which is good starting position.
It is, especially after a weak kick. So the Newton Falls Tigers will take over the football on their own 41-yard line against the Sebring defense. And again, Sebring's been known to give up a lot of points. Your quarterback, he hasn't been there that long. Junior Nick Rapsick. He'll take and hand off along the side, and that's Carter Rapsick, his brother. And Carter going to get the football down to about the 45-yard line for a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6.
That was a hard run for those 4 yards. I like Carter's shiftiness. You can see that he digs his feet in the ground, makes the hard cut, tries to make the man miss, but at the same time, it was a good tackle because that looked like that could have broke off for more.
Yep, and with the lack of points, DJ, this first quarter is rapidly coming to a close. We're working under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, that's what happens when you end up putting the ball on the ground.
Absolutely. Rapsick, the quarterback. One back behind him. He's going to roll to the near sideline. The southpaw is going to throw it. He's going to get a completion. That's Madison. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. Ball's loose at the end. I don't know if that's a live football or not. Official's going to spot it down. And I think he made the right call, DJ. That football is going to be at the 25-yard line. The ground caused that football to come loose. Let's take a look.
As we go ahead and we see Rapsack roll out, and I think his completion percentage is 100% if I'm not mistaken. But you go ahead, you see Battison, big boy Battison goes ahead and breaks that tackle and then ends up in just a little close there. I don't know about that one.
Well,
but
we don't use
we don't use
instant replay,
so
slow down to the millisecond at high school level.
yeah, so you
fortunately.
just go ahead and run that. So, hey, good first down.
Hey, it doesn't take away from the effort of Battison trying to break through tackles. And he advances the football all the way down to the Trojans' 25-yard line. This one's going to be whistled dead on an attempted pitch to the right side to Carter Rapsick from his brother.
And it looks like we're going to have our first timeout.
And the timeout's going to be assessed to Greg Lazari. Or no, it's going to be assessed to Coach Seidel on the Sebring Tigers, the Trojans against the Newton Falls Tigers. And right now, Newton Falls on the move again after that Battison catch and run. Very impressive.
It seems like the Tigers are catching a lot of breaks if we go ahead and see. I mean, on the touchdown drive, ended up having the fumble, and it fumbled, for a first down. You ended up having that play that just happened, and it resulted in a first down. So, hey, maybe luck's on the Tigers' side tonight.
That would be nice, definitely. Check some scores around the league. We'll get some in here.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
Oh, and he steps out of bounds. Oh, ref got knocked over too.
and he lost his hat.
But as you just said, not before Rapsack picks up the first and 10.
Very impressive run for Rapsick that time. Let's take a look on instant replay, but a great job by Nicky Rapsick, the quarterback.
Direct snap ends up going ahead, takes it, just follows his blockers. That's what you're taught to do. and then ends up getting a guy off of him, but that was after he was already out of bounds. And first and goal in the red zone. Very impressive offense here.
And that's a 16-yard carry for the quarterback, the southpaw quarterback. And I'm very partial to southpaws. I'm a big Kenny Stabler fan growing up. So I love those left-handers. 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. And again, play is stopped on the field. There apparently is another timeout as we look at the Newton Falls sideline. And the Tigers on the move again, leading 6-0 against the Sebring Trojans in this ball game with 1 minute to go in the first quarter.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that Nick Rapsack has thrown an incompletion so far this game.
Well, that 16-yarder shows that he can run as well.
And check out the Newton Falls faith.
There they are, staying brave and warm as they possibly can.
Speaking of which, it's actually not so bad up here tonight.
Second quarter score in playoff action. Division III, Hubbard leading Geneva 7-0 in the second period. Riverside, first quarter over Boardman by a count of 9-0. No score so far between Twinsburg and Austintown Fitch. I live in Austintown. TJ Parker has done a magnificent job. I expect them to win that one handily. First and goal for the Tigers at the Sebring 9-yard line. Handoff, Pendleton, right side, nowhere to go. Runs into a wave of Sebring Trojan defenders and finally going to come down in the arms of Noah Frederick along that far side. And he's going to end up losing, it looks like, maybe about a yard or so. It's still second down and goal. Ball back to the 10-yard line. It's quarterback Rabsick checks with his coach Greg Lazari. 26 seconds on a moving clock in the first quarter. John Bacho and DJ Robinson, Newton Falls TV in conjunction with Gregory Films Incorporated. And I'm impressed with this Rabsick kid. Hasn't played quarterback all that much. He's going to take, and just as soon as I say it, we got a flag down on the field. Here comes Sebring back the other way. And it's number 2, and what a job by Melvin Cruz that time. But we'll have to wait and see off the interception if it's allowed to stand.
I wonder what that flag is going to be, because it doesn't look like the refs are actually moving too far. And over on the line judge, he did signify that that was going against the Trojans.
Oh, boy. That was a backbreaker.
That's a big break.
I mean, you've got the Tigers in a situation here where they were ready to go in and take a 2-touchdown advantage perhaps nearing the end of the first quarter, and then you're able to thwart that and take the ball on the interception return all the way out toward midfield. That's going to be a pass interference call, and that's going to go against the Trojans, and a big break for Newton Falls. And this is going to be offsetting penalties because we have a penalty too, holding against Newton Falls. So how's this work, DJ? We cancel it out?
Yep, cancel it out, do it all over again.
There you go. And a big break, though, for the Tigers. They'll take that cancel out.
Oh, my goodness, they'll take that any day. You know, you get something like that. Those right there are game-changing plays. And that's just where Sebring is not catching a break right now. Every time they get one, something happens, which is good for the Tigers.
Yeah, we'll take it. Well, that was an interception and a long return and a golden opportunity that looked like it was missed. And I was just singing the praises, too, of Nick Rapsick, a quarterback, who doesn't have a lot of experience as we take a look at the interception there.
Well, technically that does not count against his percentage because that play technically didn't happen, so he is still over an 80% quarterback completion percentage.
So Melvin Cruz's big interception, his big INT, is all for naught. See if we can get one more play off here before the end of the first quarter. With Newton Falls leading 6-0. And that courtesy of a touchdown run at the 4:59 mark here of quarter number 1. Carter Rapsick from 19 yards out, capping off an impressive 71-yard drive for the Tigers' initial offensive series.
Guess what I got?
What do you got?
Sports scores.
All right.
As we go ahead and we see them down on the field, I'm just going to go ahead and give you some playoff scores. Right now we got Painesville Riverside 9, Boardman 6, end of first quarter. Latonia 12, Buckeye Local 0, first quarter. New Philly 7, Cheney nothing, first quarter.
That New Philly's a pretty good ball. They beat Steubenville this year, I think 31-0.
Yeah, that's a scrappy squad right there. And as you said, Hubbard 7, Geneva nothing. McDonald 7, Jackson Milton nothing at the end of first.
Go Devils.
Canfield 7, Kenston nothing in the first quarter. Louisville and JFK have not updated yet. Warren Hardin 14, Maple Heights nothing. That's huge. And here's a big one right here. Streetsboro 21, Niles nothing at the end of the first quarter. That's huge for that Streetsboro squad. And Fitch 7, Twinsburg nothing.
Yep.
The second quarter.
I expect Fitch to win against Twinsburg. They've done it all season long. Should be the final play of the first quarter, barring a penalty. Quarterback Rapsick going to throw a fadeaway pattern in the end zone. This is definitely a pass interference call.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Boy, it was just
you literally can't do that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was all Cole Marquette, and 6'6", 230-pounder. I mean, that's a mismatch. They trying to keep up with it. Look at that.
I mean, hey, I'd do the same thing if that big size advantage. I'd do the same thing, man. He didn't score, so that's all that matters. Go ahead and drag him by the end of his jersey if you can, but at least he didn't score on you.
Zach Rusick, number 7 in defensive coverage, gave up a ton of height as he's only 5'8", and with that, that'll end the first quarter. But Newton Falls going to be in great shape to begin the second period.
Going back to that last play, that dude was smart.
And we're going to take a break and a timeout. We'll be back at Newton Falls Stadium. After one, it's Newton Falls 6 and Sebring nothing.
Sloan and Brogan, Almighty God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, has freed you from sin, given you new birth by water and the Holy Spirit, and joined you to his people.
As long as we both shall live.
For as long as we both shall live.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
Now, Miranda, you'll say to Phil and repeat after me. In the name of God.
In the name of God.
I, Miranda.
I, Miranda.
Take you, Phil.
Here on the ends.
So with that on third down, Nick Oyster's got Paul Broderick in the back of the end zone. Broderick goes up and makes the catch for a touchdown. Touchdown, Tigers in the end zone. I do not see any flags on the field, which is a great sign. Broderick with the catch. DJ, what have we seen on the replay here?
Right here, we're seeing Oyster go ahead, check down his receivers, ends up throwing a jump ball to where Paul Broderick had the man beat and came in and got the 6.
Great job there on the connection between Nick Oyster and Paul Broderick. They've been a pretty lethal connection so far. When they've been on, they've been on. I see fireworks going on.
We are swiftly having fill up the slots for the COVID-19 testing taking place at 100 Superior, and there's no...
And back to live action. Begin second quarter of play. Rapsick handoff after the pass interference call and literally helped in the end zone. That was impressive. I get by a little help by my friends as Carter Rapsick, number 5. It was literally pushed into the end zone. So a touchdown. That's Carter Rapsick's second of the ball game in the first half. This one from 5 yards out following the pass interference call. And suddenly it's a 12-0 ball game.
Goodness gracious. I mean, at that point in time, he just had a host of Tigers that parted the sea, and the rest of them kept rowing the boat, as they say, and he ended up crashing in.
Boy, he had some help there. He was literally pushed. Here's the conversion attempt. It is up, and it is no good. It is low and off to the right. So Newton Falls 0 for 2 in the extra point department, but no matter, they have a 12-0 lead on the scoreboard, DJ.
As you go, and yeah, you just kind of missed that.
Just a little.
Just a smidge. It's like, because I'm a Florida State fan, so that reminds me of the Bobby Bowden days. Wide right, it hurts.
Well, you love your Seminoles, huh?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Bobby Bowden, some of the great days, and Think about Deion Sanders playing there.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. That was one of the reasons why I like Florida State.
Oh, I know. Deion was, showtime for nothing, man. He was an outstanding ball player.
Absolutely. Two sport ball player.
And I got to, absolutely, in baseball, much like Bo Jackson did, I've got to ask you, and I'm curious, you look at this, Sebring's a Division VII school trying to establish a winning culture. Newton Falls is one division up. They're a Division VI school trying to establish a winning culture. Is there that much difference between level 6 and 7 in your opinion? Because so far on the field, it's shown that way.
I mean, just look at the sideline. I mean, just even something as simple as that. You go and you see, Sebring's bench. It's sparse, where we literally have a plethora of students just waiting to get in the game, and that's something that that's legal procedure. And
the ball is going to go out of bounds, going to result in a penalty, and Sebring's going to take over offensively in pretty decent shape, but they are trailing 12-0 here in the opening minute of the second quarter.
But as you were talking about what we were talking about previously with the disparity in divisions, I guess you could say it's a school-by-school case because, I mean, you look at McDonald, their roster, they usually have a pretty decent roster, and they're considered a Division VII school, and I guess it's a school-by-school basis. I mean, hence the reason for the divisions, because it goes by the number of boys that are in your school as far as the division breakdown. It's just amazing to see the disparity between both schools in the fact that Newton Falls got more kids.
And they're just going to push him back and have him kick it over again 5 yards deeper. But you're right. I look along that far sideline. It looks like on the sideline there's like 6, 7 Sebring Trojans. You talk about in a situation where you could ill afford to have an injury.
Absolutely.
And some of them are in street clothes, it looks like. I'm not sure.
Play both ways. Some just if you want to go ahead and field a team, you do it with heart, and this is what they're doing.
Newton Falls, squib kick, and it's going to be taken by the Trojans at the 30-yard line to the 34, 35. Good hard running, and it'll get them about the 39-yard line. A 9-yard return that time for the Trojans, but not much going at all for Elijah Frederick.
I don't know about the kicking game. Seems like we got to do something there.
Yeah, they went with the squib that time. I don't know if they have Frederick, one of the fastest players on the Sebring roster, ended up returning the football anyway, and looked great field position to begin the drive at the 40-yard line. Worst thing you want to do is go up 12-0 and then give your opposition a chance to get back in it with favorable field position.
And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm just saying as far as fixing the kicking game, you don't want to kick it to their most dynamic player, and that's exactly what happened. And like you said, now they get good field position.
Cody Horning moves from left to right, motion, but the handoff along the right sideline, and it looks like it's going to be 6.
It's a foot race.
Oh, my. Just the speed that time. Noah Frederick. And we talked about him, how quick he is, number 15, 5'8", 174-pound junior. Once he gets to the outside, he could outrun most defenders, and he showcased it right there. That one, 61 yards.
I mean, you highlighted it right here on the replay. We were talking about it all game. You can't let the Frederick boys get out in space, and that's exactly what happened. Ended up having a full sweep, and then it was just a foot race. And at that point in time, he took a really good angle, and that was Pendleton. He ended up taking the perfect angle that you could have, but it was a foot race, and he just couldn't get in there. And next thing you know, Frederick's in for 6.
Boy, DJ, and just like we talked about too. I mean, you begin this drive at the 40 after the weak kickoff. And you set him up in nice field position there. But Frederick's speed was definitely the difference. Johnson in a 2-point formation, going to run it to the left after a bobbled snap, going to come up short of the goal line. So between these two teams, there's been 3 extra point attempts and a combined 0-3 for both squads.
It just looks like that's the only thing as far as the disparaging is the fact that the special teams, as far as the kick game for both, is somewhat lacking.
Noah Frederick, 61-yard explosive touchdown along the far sideline, beating Pendleton as the last Newton Falls defender hopeful. And they have cut the Newton Falls advantage in half now. Tigers still leading 12-6. And how important is it now for Newton Falls to, again, reestablish the momentum offensively?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go and you break off a 61-yard run against the defense that has been doing their job, staying home, and they ended up letting the big one happen. And that's what really hurts is you go ahead and you have all that momentum, and all it does to go ahead and, deflate the boat basically is one play. And as you can see, big play Frederick made that happen.
Well, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast that both teams, well, certainly Sebring has had the ability to score. The problem is defensively they have given up so many points and they've had so many breakdowns in the course of a complete four-quarter game. Coach Seidel said we have not been able to put together 4 full quarters. Well, they got off to a rough start, 12-0 deficit here, but they have answered. There's a short kick and easily buried and jumped upon by the Newton Falls Tigers on the coverage that time, and a nice job for the Tigers and Jacob Moss. So Newton Falls will begin offensively, and again, if we're going to criticize, or not even criticize, but question Newton Falls, we could question Sebring right here. Let's go down to the field. Alyssa has somebody.
Hi, guys. So here in the first quarter, starting off, they played very well defense. And to top it off, they had a first quarter touchdown. I think it was by Carter Rapsack. He's been playing very well. Overall, the energy is very good tonight, so I think it's going to be a good game.
Thank you, Alyssa. She's a doll down there. Look at her. She looks so warm, too.
Are you warm down there, Alyssa?
I'm actually really cold. I'm trying.
Well, then it's an illusion. It's an illusion.
It's cold.
Nice hat, though. I like the hat.
Thank you.
47-yard line. Rapsick, the lefty, is going to throw to the near sideline. The pass is going to be complete, but it's not going to go anyplace. In fact, it's going to end up in a 5-yard loss and bring up a 2nd and 15. That time he tried to go to Luke Dickey on the near sideline, and Sebring's defense wouldn't have any of it.
If you look at it right now, like we were talking about, that big thing called MO, which is that momentum. And right now, Sebring is riding it hard right now.
2nd down and 16. So it appears, at least from the first play after the Sebring touchdown, that has buoyed the Trojans' defense. Have to wait and see. 12-6, Newton Falls leading Sebring with 10:44 to go in the first half. Quarterback is Rapsick. He's going to take, he's going to hand off, and pretty good running room that time, but still far short of the first down for Carter Rapsick, his brother, as he gets across, just across the 45-yard line to about the 46-yard line, and to bring up a 3rd down and still about 12 yards, a long way to go.
Well, you do realize that they ended up getting some of that yardage back. Again, you want to go ahead and just try to manage getting yourself out of the holes. At least it's not 3rd and 17. So that's what we're pretty much aiming for. And right now it's, better than what I just said.
Yeah.
Can't get any better than that.
And you got to remember, too, DJ, you're still on your side of the 50-yard line, so you don't want to do anything that's foolish and give away that big lead. Quarterback going to take, going to keep, and he's going to come up at about midfield and run into a few Sebring defenders the hard way. Pickup of about 5, but he'll be about 7 short of the necessary yardage to pick up a fresh set of 4, and it looks like the Newton Falls Tigers will have to surrender the football.
And that's very unfortunate at that point in time. Looked like there was a hole. Sebring closed it up really quick, got the stop, and now they're going to potentially get the ball back.
Yep. And the defense for the Sebring Trojans, again, has been an Achilles heel this year. They gave up 53 points to Middle Ridge in week 2, 40 to McDonald, 42 to Jacksonville, 43 to Lowville, 39 to Western Reserve. It's been a big problem. And Newton Falls is going to test that defense on a 4th down, and they had it, and they dropped it. Pendleton taking the pass from Rapsick. He might have not had the first down, but had he been able to hang on, he might have been able to run and pick up the necessary yardage for the fresh set of 4.
I think that ball was just thrown behind him at that point in time. Just a tad, and missed his receiver, and unfortunately it is a turnover on downs.
And Sebring will take over at midfield. Trojans offensively led by number 20, your quarterback, Dylan Johnson, 6'1", 185-pound senior. Clock stops off the incompletion and the failed 4th down try with exactly 9 minutes to go. in the second quarter. Again, at halftime, we'll try to give you some scores on not only the regular season, but some of the playoff encounters. Frederick, the ball carrier, he's going to get about 3 or 4 yards on the left side and bring up a second down, and we'll call it about 7.
Looks like we got an injury down on the field.
Yeah, Sebring Trojan down there. And it looks like it's John Davis, perhaps, number 52.
Yes.
Make that number up. John Davis lying on the field, a 5'10", 237-pound junior offensive lineman. And we talked about the depth. This is certainly an issue as his teammate number 20, Dylan Johnson, comes over to check on his fallen warrior and comrade.
And that's one thing that Sebring cannot afford is injuries, especially with the lack of depth on the field. This is going to be huge if he can't make it. Hopefully the young man can go ahead, get up, dust it off, and, get ready to play some more.
No doubt about it. And, you think about it, we talked about it, and everybody's illustrated and highlighted the difficulties of the COVID-infested season, how you had to do, practices via Zoom. Everything was being done virtually and late starts, and no one knew if they were going to play. But, I mean, even if it's only a 6-game season, DJ, these kids are just happy to be playing at all, particularly the seniors. It's like, hey, man, it wasn't a full 10-game season, but I got to play 6, and I got some memories, and I got to play with my buddies again. And
that's one thing that, at the beginning of this year, they didn't think there was going to be a football season. I mean, we were, going into basketball season, coming out of basketball season before they canceled, everything at that point. Then they come in and it crept over into the fall, and at the beginning, they were talking about no football nowhere. Then all of a sudden, it ended up opening up for college. And some of the colleges decided to play, mostly the southern states, eastern states. Then all of a sudden, the OHSAA ended up making a decision saying that they were going to have a season, but the details just weren't ironed out. Then it ended up coming out where, hey, we're going to go ahead and this is what we're giving you. And everybody is just like, hey, we'll take it. It's football. We'll do what we have to do. And at this point, everybody's happy. And they're continuing to work on Mr. Davis down there.
John Davis, number 52, still on the field, being attended to by the medical staff for the Sebring Trojans. Sebring, again, mostly renowned basketball school. They've had illustrious history that dates way back with Coach Brooks, and trying to get that football program established in some capacity. And unfortunately for them, talk about a dry spell. It's been almost 50 years, and they have not been in the playoffs since Ohio playoff was instituted beginning in the year 1972. So, they're trying to build a winning culture here. Greg Lazari, the head coach for the Newton Falls Tigers, this is his first year back after his second go-around, and he said, I got to fix this. I got to fix this culture. 25 years of coaching experience he has, though. McMurray College in Jacksonville, Florida. He was head coach at Champion for 4 years, Cuyahoga Falls for 4 years. Newton Falls the first time from 2008 through 2011. In fact, I think in 2009, Newton Falls' last winning year, I think they went 7-3. He got Trumbull County Coach of the Year.
I mean,
so he has quite a resume.
Absolutely, turning around a program like Newton Falls. I think, like you said, that was the last winning year that they've had around that time.
And he's had a coaching pedigree and a resume along the line. He's been assistant to Bill Boren, the legendary coach, now an assistant at Niles. Coach B, he's 80-something years old. He's still out there doing it. And he told me during the course of the offseason, he goes, John, I still haven't designed to be a head coach. Tom McDaniels coached with Greg Lazari, was a big influence on him. Tom Pavlansky. So Lazari's worked under some pretty big names, no doubt about it. And he's aware of the history, some of the past coaches here at Newton Falls, John Culp and Mark Bajelic, and the guy he succeeded, Mike Gillespie, as well. Alyssa?
Alyssa's
you
cold.
Think she's ready to talk to us? Man, she is starting.
She is freezing. She's got the blanket.
And Tom Gregory sent us out this mass text. He goes, make sure you guys dress accordingly. Now, I didn't bring a blanket up in the into the booth, but I mean, Alyssa definitely needs her blanket along the sideline. I feel bad at it, saying that I thought she was somewhat comfortable.
Look what you did.
I know. Listen, if it makes you feel any better, I used to do sidelines for Youngstown State many, many moons ago, and I remember some of those bad weather conditions, and I'd have to go interview Coach Tressel. Oh, it was the worst because he was in no mood. He wanted to go to the locker room, and there I am asking him questions out there. Wasn't the best.
They didn't call that place the Ice Palace for a reason.
Ooh, it was definitely Ice Palace, Ice Castle, whatever it was just cold. I know that.
The key word in there was ice.
You got any score updates for us when we have an opportunity here?
Let's go ahead and
see if
check 'em
DJ can go over. Or let's go down to the field first and chat with Alyssa. Honey, I feel bad. Are you staying warm at all?
Yeah, I'm trying. I had to get my blanket. I'm so cold.
You got your blankie like Linus? Look at you.
Yeah, it's pretty cold down here. Hopefully the boys are staying warm, but I know I'm freezing.
Oh, boy. I feel bad. But it's cute. It's a red and white blanket.
Yeah.
You got it all going down there. That's our sideline reporter, Alyssa, trying to stay warm. Again, we have an injury timeout for Sebring down there on the field. That's John Davis, number 52, and he's been down for a while. That freezes the first half clock with 8:44 to go. And Newton Falls holding on to a 12-6 lead over Sebring.
I do have some score updates.
DJ, fire away.
All right. As of right now, we got Boardman 13, Riverside 9 in the second quarter, so Boardman did come back. Latonia 20, Buckeye Local 0. New Philly 14, Cheney 0. Chardon 28, Howland 0. Hubbard 19, Geneva 7. McDonald 14, Jackson Milton 6. Canfield 7, Kenston 2. Warren JFK 14, Lowellville 7. Warren Harding 21, Maple Heights 6. Streetsboro 28, Niles nothing. Austintown Fitch 7, Twinsburg nothing. And Wellsville 15, Valley Christian 7.
Thank you, DJ, for those updates. So you mentioned playoff action going on tonight. Division III, Region 9, involving area schools, Howland and Hubbard and Cheney, Niles, Canfield. In the Division II, Region 5, local schools Austintown Fitch, Warren Harding, and Boardman. In the Division 7, Region 25, amongst the small schools, Lowellville, Warren, JFK, Latonia, Jackson Milton, and McDonald. In Davis, as you see the Newton Falls ambulatory truck coming out, this doesn't look to be the most promising of situations. He's still down. But he is moving his arms and everything, which is a good sign.
Absolutely. This is an unfortunate incident that, occurs when you play this game. And as of right now, we just can do nothing but hope for him the best.
Sebring again trying to get something going. If you look at them, they've won 2 of their last 4 ball games. And while we've touched upon how many points they've given up defensively, they have put some points on the board, as they did last Thursday in Vienna at Matthews, beating them 48-20 with the purple and gold. And Coach Seidel realizes it's going to take a little bit of time to get this program into that winning culture. As you see the stretcher coming out in the field, never a great sight. But again, there appeared to be motion with John Davis's arms, and that is a good sight. And all we could do is wish him well. A couple weeks ago, we saw 2 quarterbacks for Newton Falls go down and have to be escorted off in similar fashion.
Yeah, this is never the part of the game that anybody wants to see. Nobody wishes this upon anybody. But unfortunately, it is a part of the game.
Looks like they're placing some support under that right leg or ankle, like a walking boot, if you will. And they're going to put some air in them, blow that thing up. And it looks to be a right leg injury. Definitely painful lying there. But respect shown for from both Newton Falls and Sebring sidelines. Matt Seidel, the second-year head football coach, 36 years old. And he was disappointed, too, in the second year. He thought, he said the number of kids, and we talked about how low their roster is in terms of numbers. He thought he would get more kids out. He thought he would be able to convince more kids to come out and play football for the Mahoning County School, the Sebring Trojans. And he said, it just wasn't where I thought it would be. And he blamed COVID for a lot of it.
I mean,
he thought he thought it just really put a monkey wrench in everything in his plans for a second campaign.
I can absolutely believe that. I mean, it shut down a lot of places. Newton Falls, basketball town, but also a football town. So you do have a lot of kids come out for football every year, especially when you're trying to build a program that is perennially a basketball program. A lot of kids don't play football. So to go ahead and try to change that mindset among the student body is actually, is a very hard thing to do, especially this being your second year. You were looking for something else, and then next thing you know, boom, COVID happens. So now that just put a monkey wrench in everything that you had going and all the momentum you had going from that year before. And it's just another mountain to climb over. And that's, it's not just affecting, just Sebring alone, it's affecting all schools.
Definitely is. And, I'm sure that, Coach Seidel, he knew it was he thought, too, he goes, look, I lost a lot of prominent seniors from last year, including a 3-year starter we talked about in Zane Peterson, a quarterback. But, you and I looked at this roster, and there's a lot of juniors and seniors on this team. But the juniors are going to be the kids that he's counting on for next year, and I'm sure he wants to get momentum. And a win tonight for Sebring, and they're definitely in the ballgame, it's only 12-6, but a win tonight for Sebring would be one win more than they had last year. So it's a step in the right direction, and I'm sure that's how he's looking at it.
Absolutely. And it's nice to go ahead and see that the wonderful Newton Falls Fire got out there with the EMS personnel, went ahead and carefully took care of John Davis, and now he's going to be, going in the stretcher, and hopefully, that young man will come back stronger, bigger, faster, stronger, sometime down the line. But it is good that, his team surrounded him and gave him, they instilled, confidence in him, and, he's just hurting as far as, not wanting to be with his guys. And unfortunately, at this time, he just can't.
Yep. And a classy round of applause from the Newton Falls faithful as Mr. Davis is wheeled off the field and into the ambulance. It looks again to be a leg injury of some sort. And hopefully he will be okay. Nonetheless, we'll resume the football game and what's been a pretty competitive battle thus far.
I just got an update, actually. It said it could possibly be an ankle injury.
Yep, not surprised.
Yeah, and that's never a good thing. They were definitely taking a little bit of time looking down at the ankle, and hopefully it's not, worst case scenario as far as, possible, being broken. So we don't know exactly, but it was in that ankle region.
Gregory Films Incorporated, proud to bring you this one here tonight. It's been an entertaining ball game. 8:44 to go after the injury and the stoppage of the clock with Newton Falls leading 12-6. Let's recap the scoring for you, DJ. Newton Falls in their first offensive possession, 71-yard drive, went right down the field. Carter Rapsick, 19-yard touchdown, missed 2-point conversion, 4:59 mark, and Tigers are up 6-0. Then Newton Falls scored on another Rapsick 5-yard run, went ahead 12-0 with another missed conversion. And then Sebring on a Noah Frederick electrifying 61-yard touchdown, cut it to 12-6. They, too, missed the conversion. Sebring will take the football, and on the right side, they're going to get to about the 43-yard line. So pretty good running room. Credit him about 7 yards on that, on what was a 3rd and 8. It'll bring up a 4th and very short.
And as of right now, we have the ref still on the field marking the ball. And it's going to be they didn't change the down marker, so is it 3rd and 4?
I thought it was 4th, but whatever the case, they still need 4 yards to go to get the first down. The clock now back going again, 7:55 and moving. Looks to be some confusion down there. Okay, call it 3rd and 4. Well, that'll happen when you have a long lapse like we did.
That is true.
Shotgun formation. Johnson's the quarterback. He's going to hand on the right side. This is going to be Frederick, and Frederick's going to get the first down and then some as he'll get the football down to about the 36-yard line. So impressive piece of running. Again, for Sebring, and they seem to be inspired after John Davis, their fallen teammate, was escorted off the field.
They're actually lucky that he lost his footing, because it looked like he had a hole going up that side, and he just had the gears were grinding, but he was getting no traction. Ended up still getting the first down.
Well, and with number 3, Elijah Frederick on that field, this game could be tied up in a hurry. Again, Dylan Johnson looks at his wristband. He's going to give it to Elijah Frederick. Frederick this time stonewalled at about the 35-yard line, so that a pickup of a paltry 1 yard will bring up 2nd down and 9 as the clock works under 7 minutes to go in the opening half, and Newton Falls hanging on, leading Sebring 12-6.
Sebring is driving, though, and that's what we got to do. Got to have the Tigers tighten up that defense. Sebring has showed their hand all day. We're going to pound it on the ground, and you got to stop us. And as of right now, Sebring's getting positive momentum.
3 backs with Johnson, single split to the left. Quarterback takes, going to hand off along the left side. There's Elijah Frederick again, and Elijah Frederick will get the football down to about the 32-yard line as he continued to try to string that one out, but he's still going to come up shy of the first down after a pickup of about 3.
But we got some laundry on the field.
Yeah, we do.
And it's a hold.
Well, I'll tell you. And if you think about it, back earlier in this first half, Newton Falls going in for their 2nd touchdown, and interception, and was returned by Sebring all the way out to midfield. It was called waved off due to nullifying penalties on both sides.
And
big break for the Tigers.
Oh yeah, I mean, usually, when we called the Brookfield game, it was all the way up until the 3rd quarter, and then all of a sudden the penalties just started falling for the Tigers, and it just seems that it's flip-flop now, and all the penalties are on the Trojans, which is good for the Tigers.
Dylan Johnson, the quarterback, gone the entire way tonight, flanked by 2 backs to the left and to the right. And the handoff on the right side, and again, this is Elijah Frederick. Elijah Frederick, juke move inside, trying to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, and will get somewhere up close to it, to about the 37-yard line for a pickup of 5 as we take a look.
Man, that kid runs hard. Like, he just running through tackles. You can't shirt tackle him. That's the kind of kid that you got to go ahead, wrap, drive, and bring down. I mean, look, he's dragging 2-3 Tigers along with him. That kid runs hard.
We told you 5'8", but 171 pounds. And on a 5'8" frame, you're 171. Yeah, you could pack some wallop. 5.5 minutes to go, 3rd down, and 11 to go. Ball at the 37 of Newton Falls. Sebring trying to tie this football game up. Johnson back to pass in the pocket, going to throw, and incomplete.
Oh.
He tried to get it to number 2, Melvin Cruz, 5'11", 163-pound junior, and it was thrown somewhere near his ankles and unreachable, and falls to the ground harmlessly.
Well, if it touches your hands, you can't drop it. I mean, it was, it might have been a little bit low, but that was plenty of space, and especially he had no defender around him. Just, ended up, trying to move before catching the ball, and it ends up incomplete.
And that's one thing that with a 4th and 11 and being on the Newton Falls side of the field, but that's one thing. You've got to catch the ball and not take your eyes off the football. Got to make sure that you have it. It's going to be a punting situation, and the quarterback, Johnson, will do the honors. There's nobody back for Newton Falls, and the ball's going to roll into the end zone. And the Tigers, on a touchback, will take the football out again offensively at their own 20-yard line.
That was a good kick. That was a good punt. I mean, it had the spin that it was going to get ready to stop, but again, Tigers are getting breaks, and it rolled just over the goal line.
Yeah, they have gotten the breaks. There's no question about it. They have definitely gotten some breaks tonight. Sebring has come here to play some football. And despite being down 12-0, they could have just tucked it in right there and said, hey, these guys are a little too strong for us. We don't have the depth, but they haven't done that. They battled back, and that touchdown, 61-yarder, by Elijah Frederick was a big reason why.
Seems like we haven't seen the Newton Falls offense on the field for a while.
I know. That's how it feels, too. 5-16, the Newton Falls offense is, in fact, on the football field now. The quarterback is number 12, Nick Rapsick, 6', 165-pounder. Rapsick going to keep, and he's got some running room, and Rapsick to the 30, to the 35, still on his feet, all the way down just shy of the 40-yard line. And Rapsick, very impressive that time, ripping off with about a 15-yard run, or about a 20-yard run, rather.
Design quarterback keep, ends up going ahead, takes it, ends up seeing a hole, makes the best of it, ends up getting a good block downfield. And that's what you love to see, your receivers blocking for you downfield. And next thing you know, ends up breaking off the big one, first down.
Technically, it'll be an 18-yard run, but it'll be good enough for the first down for the Tigers. They're trying to get something on the scoreboard. It's been a while since they scored. They jumped out to a 12-0 lead. Sebring off the Frederick touchdown. Cut it in half to 12-6, and the Tigers trying to reestablish something momented offensively. And get across the 41, about to 42-yard line that time. And it'll bring up a second down, and we're going to call it about 6 yards.
There was some hitting going on right there because you heard the pop come up here, and there's nothing better than a good pop with some shoulder pads.
You like that stuff, don't you?
Oh, man, I love hard-nosed football.
They'll mark the ball officially at about the 42-yard line. Scoreboard shows 2nd and 7, 6, 7 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, you know that happens.
It's close. Quarterback Rapsick, southpaw, wants to throw, middle of the field. There's a penalty marker, I believe, and the pass is complete, but this one may come back. Nice catch that time down the middle of the field by the big 6'6" receiver Cole Marquette, but I think it's coming back.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold. That was a beautiful play, though. He ended up going downfield. Found the matchup. Big man. Would have been a first down, but unfortunately a hold.
Boy, they have terrorized Sebring's defenders with 6'6", Cole Marquette. Cole Marquette, interesting story. Out all of last year with, I believe, an elbow injury, dislocated elbow. So he was glad to come back. And there's some pretty big schools that have him on the radar. And the size is definitely one of his big advantages and why a lot of schools are looking at him, along with his athleticism, as he showcased there. Well, this time Newton Falls not the beneficiary of a penalty. And a holding call wipes out a big catch from Marquette. And that'll flip the football all the way back to the 31. And 2nd down and 17 to go now. Quarterback, southpaw, Rapsick going to throw, screen pass left side, ball is complete, and this could be a big breakaway. Beautifully done by the Newton Falls Tigers. On the loose going is Luke Dickey, and he is into the end zone.
Oh, I love the dip at the end. Even though, they say not to, celebrate. I am the kind of person that, likes to throw up the peace sign or, dip your head. That was a good A. And they called it, couldn't stop it.
That was about 69 yards on a perfectly executed screenplay. Absolutely perfect. And so...
Oh, and it's coming back again.
No.
Big penalty. Are you kidding me?
You got to be kidding.
Goodness
Where'd the
gracious
flag come
alive.
from?
Yeah, Lazari is not too pleased with this one.
He's on the field trying to explain his case for the Tigers, and the officials may pick up the flag and wave it off. I don't know what they're doing. Let's find out.
Oh, it's waved off, so it is a touchdown.
I had a feeling.
Goodness gracious, what is...
Greg Lazari pleads his case, and for the second time tonight, we see a player and a coach talk the official out of a flag.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. You go and you throw flags on the field, but then next thing you know, you turn around and you end up, scoring points, and this is amazing. That's all I can say about that. This is amazing.
Luke Dickey, 69-yard screen pass touchdown, and that was impressive. And here comes a extra point attempt. Neither team has been able to make an extra point as Newton Falls goes back on top by 12 at 18-6. 3:24 to go in the first half pending the extra point.
Huge momentum boost right here if we make it.
It would, and I'd like to see us make this too, actually get the extra point. A little bit of a problem on the hold. The kick isn't bad, but it's going to go to the right, and no good.
Pull to Florida State, wide right.
He got it up a little higher that time.
It was higher, just pushed it to the right.
And it's 18-6.
Is
Four touchdowns, 4 missed extra points.
Is that called a slice in golf? Like, is that what?
Believe me, I've got that down pat. I should have a patent on a slice. I am the worst.
Well, you do have this pizza slice. Did you see what I did there?
Pizza slice.
Pizza slice.
Again, thank you to Tiger Den Pizza for feeding us, and the pizza was so delicious. That was a great segue, DJ. I'm very impressed with you.
I impress from time to time.
Greg Lazari The crew thanks you for the great pizza. There's a nice shot of you don't like that, I know.
You're literally giving up field position. I just don't know. I would disagree with the call.
And the Tigers will have the football, or back up rather defensively, as the Trojans have the football at the midfield stripe. And that is an impressive way to get an opportunity to try to get back into the football game. And you can't give Sebring chances.
No, you cannot.
They can do things offensively.
And it's shock value plays.
And there's a handoff on the right side, and this is Noah Frederick as he gives his brother Elijah a little bit of a break and some good hard running. It's going to get him out to about the 43-yard line for a pickup of about 7 yards. So 43-yard line now is a situation where Sebring has the football on the Tiger side of the field after the rather soft kickoff attempt.
That's very nice.
I'm trying to be nice.
The way you put that. I mean, it's literally arena football right now. You gave him half the field. That's just, again, something I don't like. Personal choice.
Quarterback, Dylan Johnson, shotgun formation again. Two backs to both sides. Turn, hand. This is Elijah. Elijah Frederick is going to get pretty good running room down to about the 33-yard line. And that's going to move the sticks once again on a first down effort. As we take a look here, and again, the speed and the power of one Elijah Frederick.
We highlighted him all night. We said that the Frederick brothers are going to go ahead and carry this football team. And as you can see, they have, like you were just talking about, they have the speed. If they get to the outside, they will dust you in a track meet, and that's something you have to stop against these Trojans.
Single split to the left. That is Zach Ruzak, number 7 on your near screen. Single split to the right, 2 for Sebring. Working out of a slot on the right side. They're going to go that way. This is Noah Frederick. Frederick, a little juke move and trying to get to the outside, and he's going to be taken down, but not before he advances the football down to about the 28-yard line as we take a look.
Look at the moves that he had. I mean, just like in-step, out-step, in-step, out-step, just shaking everybody out on the field. I mean, he ran a long way for 5 yards, but at the same time, positive yardage is all you can ask for, especially with Newton Falls having that big score and Sebring just trying to answer back.
5-yard pickup brings us 2nd down and 5, ball at the 29-yard line. Working off the short field again, 1:33 to go. And a little pitch again to Noah Frederick along the far sideline. Clock's going to continue to wind as he's hemmed in there and taken down at about the 27-yard line. Now an official's timeout on the play. Clock shows 1:19 to go.
I don't know if the official ended up getting hit or somebody got hit over there on that side, because play side was over towards the stickmen over there. So I don't know if somebody got bumped and bruised.
You know, DJ, we talked about how important it was for Newton Falls to establish momentum, but let's jump over to the other side of the ledger. Sebring wants to stay in this football game. What better way to do it? Put something on the board in the final 1:19, working with the short field where they began this series at midfield, which you weren't in favor of at the beginning.
Absolutely not. I mean,
and this is why.
And this is the exact reason why. You got the Frederick brothers coming out there, and they're both lightning in a bottle, and you go ahead and you give them a short field. I'm telling you, they've given you the blueprint all game. They're going to go hand inside, hand outside. It's just one to one or the other. And all they're going to do is just try to beat you to the outside. If they beat you to the outside, it's 6.
And 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Sebring Trojans, who elect to take a timeout. Clock down to 1:09. It's 18-6. We've had 4 touchdowns in this ball game, 2 from over 60-yard variety, courtesy of Noah Frederick and Luke Dickey. 1 for Sebring, 1 for Newton Falls, but in 4 opportunities combined, neither team has been able to convert an extra point, and thus an 18-6 ball game.
Yeah, that might be something we look out for in the offseason.
Where are those soccer kickers when you need them?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Usually you pull somebody from soccer and, they're booting extra points.
That's what I'm saying. Honestly, at the high school level, it amazes me today that these kids they're actually trying 40-something yard field goals. Back when I was in high school, it was the same way. I mean, you're lucky if you got the extra point through. It was always low, and, we were 10-0. And The kicks barely got through.
Right. Now, I remember, our kicker back in 02, he had the toe shoe where you just sit there and you just look forward at it and just pooch it, and it goes like 50 feet in the air, but only goes about 10 yards. Still made him, though.
Yeah. 3rd down and 3 from the 26-yard line. 109 following the timeout. Sebring Trojans, purple and gold. Dill Johnson going to try to set up a screen on the left side to Frederick, and it looked like it was going to do big things, but then Frederick, as the defense quickly converges for Newton Falls, brought down at the 21-yard line, but enough for the first down, but only a 5-yard pickup at the outset. I really thought this was going to take off.
Oh, me and you both. I mean, all that open space, especially with Elijah Frederick out there in open space, he ended up doing what he needed to do and got the first down.
Carter Miller, number 52, the big play that time. And Frederick to carry, and this time he gets nothing.
That was a huge stop by the Newton Falls defense. They saw it coming as we watched the replay. This is the replay before. But if you went ahead and you saw exactly what was going on, whoa, I don't know what happened there.
And I don't see a flag down on the play yet, and I'm not sure why. Because
I have no idea what was going on there.
Clock stops 26 seconds. Sebring trying to get up to the line of scrimmage quickly and do something here.
There's been a lot of stuff that I just have no idea what's going on in this game. I mean, this is truly football 2020 right here.
We've seen flags thrown and then waved off on 2 significant plays in the first half.
Right. It was like, they went and took it to the judge, and next thing you know, you ended up getting it waived.
I mean, for a brief second there, I thought Luke Dickey's long touchdown screen play from 69 yards was coming back, but Greg Lazar and his team convinced the officials to pick up that flag and wave it off. Much to the delight of the Newton Falls faithful. It's homecoming night here. 3rd down and 12.
Looks like there was a penalty.
And now there is a late penalty flag.
Is that a delayed game?
I really couldn't tell you, partner, because honestly, at this point, I'm not sure that they know.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go with right now.
I've got to tell you. Because that was as late a flag as I don't know, 26 seconds.
Right.
Nonetheless.
That's where we'll go. We'll pick up from there.
3rd and 17 from the 27-yard line. Johnson's going to be submarine and taken down, and this will be a huge loss all the way back to about the 39-yard line. A lot of pressure up front, and a great job by Newton Falls of getting in there. Marquette.
Their ends pinched immediately. As soon as you could see the ends pinch, they ended up having the snap count on that one. They as soon as you seen the snap count, they came off free on the ends, and he and Dylan Johnson had nowhere to go.
4th and a boatload, and a quick center snap, and that's going to end the first half as Sebring just basically and Elijah Frederick elect to lie on the ground. So we have 2 quarters in the books, and Newton Falls leads the Sebring Trojans en route perhaps to their first victory of the season by a count of 18-6. We're going to let you enjoy some of the halftime facilities, and when we come back, DJ and I will run down some of the scores, including some postseason action going on in Ohio high school football playoff action around the area. For now, enjoy the halftime ceremonies on Homecoming 2020 from Newton Falls Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight's show with a song by American pop rock band Panic at the Disco. The song was released in May of 2018 as the second single from their sixth studio album. This song is packed with this song peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Top 100, becoming the band's highest charting song. Here is High Hopes. This song spent 3 weeks at number 1 on the U.S. Modern Rock Tracks charts and comes from the band's third album titled Prolonging the Magic. Final song for tonight's halftime performance features our 2020 Tigerettes. In 8th grade, Grace Hubbard. Sophomore, Holly Clutch. Sophomore, Ava Pearson. And senior, Maddie Fowler. For our closer, the band will be performing a song by the English duo Wham, which was first released as a single in the UK in 1984 and became their first UK and US #1 hit, and was written and produced by George Michael. The single was certified platinum in the US, which at that time commemorated sales over 2 million copies. The song was ranked number 28 on VH1's 100 Greatest Songs of the 80s. We hope you enjoy the final selection and even sing along as the Tigerettes are featured and the band performs Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Tiger Marching Band would like to congratulate this year's homecoming queen, Chloe Downing, and homecoming king, one of our very own Tiger Band members, Blake Spurlock. Congratulations to you both. And one more time, the Newton Falls Tiger Marching Band.
And halftime festivities being performed by the Newton Falls Marching Band. Great job on a homecoming night. And if you're just joining us, Through the first two quarters, DJ Robinson, John Batcho, we've witnessed a pretty good ball game. 18-6, Newton Falls out in front of Sebring in the first half. Let's get to some scores from around the area, DJ.
Let's do it.
You got them? I got a few of them here. Division III, Region 9, Hubbard 19, Geneva 14 in the third period. New Philadelphia, this is a team that beat Steubenville 31-0. Canfieldville beat them. They were beating Coach Emil's Cheney Cowboys at the half, 21-7. Streetsboro, no big surprise here, leading Niles by a count of 41-6 at halftime.
Ouch.
And Canfield has now opened up a 21-2 third quarter lead over Chagrin Falls, Kenston. That again, all in Division III, Region 9 playoff action. Out in Division II, Region 5, Austin Town Fitch, Coach TJ Parker unbeaten coming in. They're leading Twinsburg. No big surprise there. Falcons 21-0. Warren Harding over Maple Heights 28-6 at the intermission. Painesville Riverside leading Boardman 15-13 late first half. JFK, we understand, has just scored, but boy, they're in a tussle. This game being played at Liberty. The top-ranked Warren JFK Eagles, Division 7, Region 25, leading number 16 seed Lowellville, 36-26. I got to tell you, though, no one thought Lowellville would come to play a top seed like Warren JFK.
Well, as we were sitting here talking in the booth, for a while, just to come out and say that, hey, Lowellville's got a passing attack. So just to see, just to have them in the game, and this is actually our surprise division here, is Division 7 is like, you don't know what can happen.
No doubt about it. 32-0. Coach Paul Julia's Latonia Bears, they're for real this year. They're leading New Washington Buckeye Central in the third period. Also, McDonald has just scored and broken a 14-14 deadlock with the Jackson Milton Blue Jays, and McDonald has gone on top, we understand, 20-14 in the third period over Jackson Milton. And you and I, both McDonald grads, said coming in, Jackson Milton's dangerous. They're a dangerous opponent for him. Jackson Milton could beat you. A couple of regular season scores. Lisbon 20-7 over Matthews in the second period. Wellsville 18-7 in the second quarter over Valley Christian. And in our ball game right here, it's 18-6 at the half in favor of the Newton Falls Tigers. To recap the first half scoring, Carter Rapsick, 19-yard run, 4:59 of the opening quarter, capping off an impressive opening drive for the Tigers. They missed a two-point conversion, but still took a 6-0 lead as the first quarter drew to a close. Newton Falls again made it 12-0, a double-digit advantage. Carter Rapsick for the second time, 5-yard touchdown run, missed two-point conversion, 12-0. Sebring gets on the board in impressive fashion. Noah Frederick, 61-yard run, extra point, no good, 12-6, 11:30 to go. And that happened quickly in the second quarter. But Newton Falls saw their advantage cut in half. But Newton Falls, and I think it's a big play, DJ, getting that Luke Dickey 69-yard screen pass touchdown at the 3:24 mark, take that 18-6 advantage into halftime. And finally, from the Newton Falls perspective, they're getting points up on the board.
Well, we actually didn't know if we were going to get that at first, because all of a sudden the Zebras were out there throwing flags like they were going out of style. And then next thing you know, they end up getting waved off. And so, there was a lot of question marks on that one. And then all of a sudden it ended up turning into 6 for the Falls, which is good for the Tigers. And now 18-6 going into the third quarter. Now these are your money quarters right here. This is where you go ahead and you take that first half momentum on either side of the ball, and you go ahead and if you're down, go ahead and turn it up, and if you're up, then you go ahead and you sustain it just to go ahead and walk out of here, especially with Newton Falls not having a win on the season. This would be huge to go ahead and get a win right here against the Trojans.
In another ball game that we did mention the score, 4th-seeded New Philadelphia leading 20th seeded Cheney 21-7 at halftime. New Philadelphia is a great team. If you could be the Steubenville Big Red 31-0, you got my attention. Now, Canfield did beat New Philadelphia this year, but Coach Emil has done a great job on the west side with the Cheney Cowboys. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think wonderful things about Coach Emil. He's going to turn that program around.
Absolutely. I mean, they went from being, a school for the arts, and then all of a sudden...
No football for a long time.
Right, and then just come back and, hey, let's go ahead and throw on that Cheney Red, and next thing you know, you end up putting out a pretty decent product.
And we're going to get ready to get the second half underway. Sebring will kick from left to right, and we are underway as the Tigers drop back in receiving formation, and there's a flag on the very first play. 1 second ticket off the clock.
It's the kicking woes, we'll say.
Gotta keep that ball in bounds, boys. Newton Falls, this is a high water mark for them. They had scored. The last time DJ and I did a ball game was the 18th of September, and they scored 12 points in that game. They also put up 14 against Liberty in their opener. So this, being an 18-point output, would be their high water mark, and I'm sure Coach Lazar is hoping they're not finished for the evening.
Oh, absolutely, especially with the way that they ended up changing the offense, as far as, having now your feature quarterback as Nick Rapsack, and now his brother Carter Rapsack as the feature running back. The Rapsack boys are, putting up just like the Frederick boys on the other side. So, it's a battle of the brothers.
And last time we were here, Oyster was the big gun. And Newton Falls overruns the football. They quickly pick it up, and they're going in big-time reverse and retreat. And Pendleton able to pick up the football, but when that ball gets behind you and you're scrambling to try and save it, you're going to get buried, and that's exactly what happens. And Newton Falls begins the second half buried inside their own 25.
Yeah, those are the ones that just, get you to, scratch your head as a coach. I don't know why, you would attempt to dive for it, but there was a dive for the football, and then it was basically muffed. And luckily, we had Damian Pendleton went ahead and had his head on the swivel, ended up picking up, and it looked like if he would have got a block, he'd have got a little bit of somewhere, but unfortunately for them, they are deep in their own territory, and let's see what the Tigers can do right here on first and down.
Yep, it's going to be at about the 20-yard line for Rapsick, the southpaw quarterback. Number 12 is orange number 12. He's going to take off of right guard. Rapsick's got plenty of room. Rapsick's got some speed. Rapsick's going to cut back. He's still on his feet inside the Sebring Trojan 35-yard line. That, my friends, was a huge run, and let's give him on that play. I'm trying to do some quick math here, about 35 yards.
Hey, I mean, just
45 yards.
Just like we were talking about, the Rapsack boys answering to the Frederick boys' bell. As right here, you look on the replay, just look at him. I mean, he just pushing off tacklers, ended up going, breaking a couple more tackles, ended up getting deep into Trojan territory.
That's a 45-yard run. From his own 20 out to the 35-yard line. That's McDonald math for you. I'm trying to do that in my head. Rapsick takes, going to hand off along the left side, and not much running room, a few yards for Carter Rapsick, his brother. He'll get down to about the 32-yard line.
As soon as he ended up getting hit, I ended up seeing the flag come out. Don't know what the line judge saw, but apparently he did not like it.
Legal block in the back.
Oh, that's what it was.
And that's
right
going to wipe out that 3-yard gain for Carter Rapsick, number 5, who scored 2 touchdowns. He scored 2 of 3 Newton Falls touchdowns in the first half. 11:14 to go. Chilly night. Go down to our sideline reporter, Alyssa, at some point. Last time we took a peek at her, she was had a blanket wrapped around her. Hope she's staying as warm as possible. I bet she wishes she had one of those fire pits down there. In fact, we have a timeout here. See if we can get Alyssa to stand by. If she's not available, we understand she's probably trying to get her hands heated right now, because your hands can go numb down there. That's the other thing. You go in the locker room at halftime, you sit around. It takes a while, even though it feels good, and once you work up a sweat, this is perfect football weather, but still, your extremities get a little bit numb.
The warmest people out here in all of Newton Falls at this field are the players that are playing. I remember being, a football player myself, and just used to hate sitting on the sidelines during cold games, because all you do is just lock up. You're just like, Coach, please give me a couple plays, just do something. But the guys that are out there on the field, they're nice and limber, they're nice and warm, especially, just getting all that momentum going between both sides. And as of right now, we got a first and what seems like forever.
18.
Yeah, and let's see what they're going to go ahead and do. Rapsack can go ahead and break out some magic. Let's see if he got it.
Well, we'll find out if, in fact, he does. Rapsick under center, going to take, and this has worked for him for the most part tonight, but I was going to say not this time, but he made something out of nothing just by simply running into a wave of defenders on the left and then improvising and coming back to the right for a few positive yards.
If you look right here on the replay, just look, it's the tale of broken tackles for Nick Rapsack. He just ends up going, you think you got him down, but that's, again, you have to wrap and drive. If with players like him, the Frederick boys, and his brother Carter, you got to wrap and drive. Unfortunately, it looks like we got another Trojan down on the field. It's going to be number 69, Matt Bird.
Boy, oh boy. Sebring already in the first half, and, a team that we talked about, roster numbers, you're looking at a team coming in, 23, 24 guys overall. John Davis left the field on a stretcher, and now another ball player down. This doesn't look to be anywhere near as serious as the player able to walk off on his own accord, fortunately.
Oh, yeah, he popped up really quick. He's walking a little gingerly, but it's good to see him hop up and get back on, get off of the field. Hopefully he can come back soon.
And good hard running there by quarterback. Rapsick will put the situation back. 2nd down and 10 as he got back the penalty yardage. Rapsick will take shotgun. This is working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Rapsick going to take and get to about the 30-yard line. Not much doing that time, but he's going to be about 5 yards shy of the first down marker. But here comes a 3rd and 5.
It looks like Johnson was down there pleading for a holding. I think I seen it myself. As you go ahead and you see him break off, got that arm on the inside. That's what they teach you to do. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And apparently he did. Ended up getting 3rd, about 5 out of that.
Clock under 10 minutes, 9:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. I'm John Bacho. Gentleman to my right, proud Newton Falls police officer, Mr. DJ Robinson.
Oh, nice.
Great gentleman.
Oh, he's going deep.
Left-hander going to throw. There's a penalty flag, and again, they're trying to exploit the 6-6 matchup with Cole Marquette, and they've done that. They did that 3 times in the first half. It nearly worked again, but Sebring has little that they can do defensively but hold because they know it's a short 6.
And I'm going to tell you every time, that dude is the smartest player on the field. You do not let that dude that's 6'3" over you. You take the penalty.
Marquette actually checking in at 6'6". That's what the program says. I mean, he is one big hombre down there.
That's a big boy, because guess what? You could go ahead and you get that. You stop. You don't end up having them score from everything I just tried to say. If you tried to catch that, if you understood what I was saying.
Yep, I understood.
Absolutely.
3 times they pulled on his jersey in that one-on-one coverage. And that's why he doesn't have any touchdowns tonight. But, boy, he's been effective just in drawing pass interference calls.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's as good as a deep completion. So that's something Greg Lazari has gone back to time and time again, and that's going to put the football off the pass interference call against Cole Marquette and the Sebring defense inside the Trojan 20-yard line down to the 15. Tigers trying to blow this one open. Really, at 9:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff, and pretty good running room that time for Christian McCabe, the 5'10", 180-pounder. Off of right guard, McCabe's going to get down to about the 11-yard line. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
As they're peeling players off the ground, and right now, looks like everybody's good to go, and yeah, that's it. It's getting cold up here now, man.
It is, and they're down at this side of the field. I actually got to get up. It's hard for me to get up. Just like broadcasters, same thing. Just like players, we sit in a seated position.
Right, that's how I was.
DJ, you're getting old when you reach for your phone, man, and you pull something. That's probably not good. Penalty flags fly. Penalty flags fly, and this is going to be against Newton Falls.
Now
wave at the camera.
Hey, how's it going?
Boy, I look old too. Look at this. I got a young guy next to me.
I mean, yeah,
How old are you, DJ?
How old do I look?
25.
Stop it.
What?
36.
36. 57, man. I could still be your dad. I'd have been 21. I could be your dad. I'm telling you, I could be your dad.
Yeah, because, you did graduate, 1981.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I wasn't even thought of till 84.
That's reminding. Penalty flag. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11, and there's Rapsick And he's got the football inside the 5-yard line, but a penalty flag is probably going to bring this one back. And Newton Falls does look frustrated among the offensive line front.
This just seems to be the theme of the second half for the Tigers. A lot of laundry coming out, and that's exactly what's going on as of now.
Anthony Scaldone, number 75, put his arms up in disgust. He was not happy. He knew that one was coming back, and that's too bad, too, because that was a heck of a run for Carter Rapsick that time. That had an opportunity. That had potential third touchdown all over it for this evening's performance.
Oh, Carter Rapsack this is his coming out party right now. This kid is electric. Between him and his brother Nick as the quarterback, they are definitely booing this Newton Falls offense.
And unfortunately, this time Tigers are going to be stung by penalty. It's going to take away what would have been a first and goal inside the 5-yard line after the fine effort from Carter Rapsick, and it'll put the ball all the way back at the 25-yard line. On the right side, pretty good running room, and the Newton Falls Tigers going to get down there. It looked like Nicky Rapsick, the quarterback, just decided, hey, I'm going to bootleg along the right side and see if I can get some of this yardage back.
Oh, yeah, he chewed up a lot of yards if you go ahead and watch on the replay. Ended up breaking 1 tackle, breaking 2 tackles, ended up missing the tackle right there, 3. Ooh, and that looked like a face mask right
sure
there.
Did.
But, Sebring needs the breaks they can get, and they got a break with that one because that looked like that could have been the 15-yard variety.
Boy, you're right about these Rapsick brothers. They're really coming to their own tonight. Ball's going to be advanced down to the 12-yard line. Set up a 3rd and 7, though. And definitely 4-down territory here and an 18-6 lead, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and again, it's been spinning. That clock is spinning right now. 7 minutes left.
Pitch to Rapsick. Carter Rapsick. It looks like he has the angle, and he's in for the 6. That is his 3rd touchdown of the night.
There was nobody on that side right there. I mean, they literally had a sweep, and it just looked like the Sebring defense got swallowed up. He hit the outside, and it was night-night.
Carter Rapsick with his 3rd touchdown as we take a look on the pitch to the near side.
As you go ahead and you just see the toss, and next thing you know, just ends up getting the edge over everybody else, in for 6.
Anthony Scaldone out there leading the way. Let's see if we can finally find an extra point. Will be successful. Clock just a tick under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd period. And Newton Falls now 24-6 over Sebring.
As being a lineman, that's the best thing that could have happened to Scaldone, was because he ended up getting the penalty, and then your team ends up making it up for you, and you're just like, thank goodness.
Sipka on for the conversion, and
we got one!
Hey,
there's one!
Jason Sipka comes through, number 81, with the extra point, and it's a 25-6 ball game with the clock showing 6:58 to go here in the 3rd quarter in favor of Newton Falls, who's now put together the last 2 touchdowns of this contest. 3 touchdowns tonight for Carter Rapsick.
He is tearing it up tonight. Right now, he's got 18 points all alone. And we ended up getting our first extra point made. That is awesome in itself.
You think they'll give Sipka the game ball?
Yeah, you even though Carter had 3 touchdowns, you made an extra point. You get the game ball, man.
Can you see it? Greg Lazare, 25-6, enjoying a lead. And boy, this is going to feel good for Newton Falls, and particularly the seniors, and some of the games and how disappointing, and having 2 games canceled with COVID and everything, and then taking it on the chin to St. Thomas Aquinas in the playoffs, 48-0 last week. This one's going to feel good.
Oh, absolutely.
It's fun. It's fun to play football when it's
that's
like
what
this.
It is. You're going ahead and you're just like, hey, you just want to go ahead and, play some ball. Especially you want to get that taste out of your mouth, that 48-0. And this is a game where Newton Falls is come to play. And as of right now, they're showing it on the scoreboard.
They sure are. 19-point advantage. Carter Rapsick, the big star tonight. 3 touchdowns for the Newton Falls Tigers. Newton Falls looking very promising in getting their first victory in 5 outings. Sebring had hoped to make it 2 wins in a row and 3 out of 8 for the campaign, but that is definitely in peril now, the 19-point deficit. Squib kick This ball will be fielded at the 26-yard line, and Sebring with a pretty good return, and they're going to start on Newton Falls side of the ledger off a nice return that time for the Sebring Trojans, and Jack Quinn, I believe, number 18 on the kickoff return. Or was it number 16, excuse me, Cody Horning. That was Cody.
My man had to get Cody in there. Truck stick. He hit the truck stick on him. Hard runner.
Cody Horning will take the football to the 47-yard line, where the Sebring Trojans will begin play on offense. So Newton Falls comes out and adds to their advantage. Let's see if the Trojans can do anything about it. And there's Elijah Frederick off the left sideline. He's going to stay in bounds, keep that clock moving. Frederick's going to get to about the 44-yard line, which is going to give him a pickup of about 4 yards as we take a look.
As we go ahead and we see the replay, we see also Alyssa's here in the booth
Look
with
at
us.
her.
And as we go and you end up getting the play, ended up having a 3-yard gain. Makes it 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7.
How's it going? Yeah, we were
get in here. Get in here.
We were literally just talking about the fact of you
right.
being cold,
Really?
and we're like, hey, we don't have it too bad up here then.
Yeah, it's nice and warm. I'm kind of mad.
Handoff on the left side. A lot of gang tackling by the Newton Falls defense. Yep, here we go. There's a look how dark.
Check it out, like
right in the camera. Oh, she got a nice little blankie,
with the blankie
and everything.
With the blankie.
I'm cold. I'm cold just looking at you because you're all bundled up.
I'm freezing. I'm freezing.
Yeah, you don't realize.
That
Well,
hat
no,
keeps
you
you-
are freezing down
Yes,
there. We're not. We're not too bad.
You can stay up here anytime. And by the way, have some Tiger Den pizza while you're up here.
Good
It's
segue. Good segue.
I think she took a picture.
That's like, yeah, that's what happens.
Johnson, the quarterback of the shotgun formation, 5:23 with a moving clock. Handoff, that's going to be Elijah. And he's not going to get much that time, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Elijah Frederick trying to get to the right side, and nothing doing. Just ran into a brick wall.
I mean, look at that defense. They just came out, and it was that big number 52 right there. It's going to be Carter Miller. Ended up filling the gaps, and that's what you're supposed to do is fill the gaps.
And Carter Miller, 5'10", 190-pounder. Got some weight to him.
Absolutely.
And may I say, honestly, I talked to Alyssa, you know, she said, I'd never done sidelines reporting in my life. What an impressive performance that she has put on. Come on over here.
Yeah, so,
You're actually in college?
yeah, I go to Kent State right now. I'm going for sports broadcasting, so I'm getting a little extra, insight and everything before I start. But I'm just a freshman, so I'm like blessed to have this chance so young.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Absolutely terrific, Alyssa. Honored to have you along the sideline and in the broadcast booth. There she is again. Good wave at the camera.
There we go.
There you go. Gregory Films always doing a great job. And first, as we take a look at the Newton Falls sidelines. So following a punt with 4:35 to go in the third quarter, Newton Falls enjoying a comfortable advantage by 19, 25-6 will take over the football, but back at their own 5-yard line or so.
As we were talking about, this offense all of a sudden has just got the biggest wake-up call ever, just with the Rap Sack Boys taking over.
Rap
and
Sack Boys.
They,
It
they
sounds-
are, they're
it sounds
taking
like a
over.
rap group.
Absolutely. And
Can you play that new one by the Rap Sack Boys?
It's
Yeah,
called,
there we
it's
go.
called
Rap Attack. I like that. That was Alyssa's idea.
And their single is called the 1st and 10 because that's what they're doing. Like they're getting some good yardage.
Nick Brown gets into the ball game here, and as we take a look at the replay, some fine blocking, and Greg Lazari starting to substitute freely, and Nick Brown picking up some positive yardage for him, getting the football out to the 12-yard line for a pickup of 7.
Right now, it just seems that they're wearing down the Sebring defense, and with keeping the ball on the ground, that's what you do. That's what the goal is. If you're running the ball, is to go ahead and keep the ball in the offense's hands, and that's what they're doing right now. Especially with they just broke out this 1st down run.
Yep, Carter Rapsick doing the job, and he's going to move those sticks again, and he's going to advance the football off a 6-yard carry all the way to the 18-yard line. So again, fresh out of 4 for the Tigers as they continue to feed that advantage, and clock will stop momentarily with the movement of the chains, but back in motion again at 3:44 and counting down into the third period.
And it's getting further and further. You're getting deeper and deeper, getting ready to go into the fourth quarter soon. And as of right now, I got to say, Newton Falls has all the momentum in the world. They are definitely taking over this game, especially with the balanced run attack. They've definitely gone more 70-30 with the run, and you can see it, and it's paying off dividends.
Sebring coming in. They were on a high note. They, again, had beaten Matthews last week. And 48-20 was the final score. And so they came in on a high note. And Newton Falls probably licking their wounds coming in on a low note after 48-0 plastering at St. Thomas Aquinas. Rapsick going to take, Southpaw going to throw. He's got a receiver out there. And he has got the football. Little spin move. And taken down at about midfield, but a great catch that time by Luke Dickey, who himself has a big touchdown off of a screen pass earlier in the game.
And that's exactly what you're doing. You see, as you go over here to the replay, run, and then pass. And, ooh, that looked like that was a late hit after that.
But Luke Dickey picks up 32, and nice little spin move there.
Yeah, he definitely ended up getting the yards for the first down. Looked like there was a little bit of contact after the ball was released, but at this point, the refs going ahead, nothing said. First down, Newton Falls.
Up a 32-yard pitch and catch from Rapsick to Luke Dickey. That'll put the ball at the midfield stripe. This was a competitive ball game through the first couple minutes of the second quarter. It was 12-6, but it's been all Newton Falls ever since. Rapsick going to take, or is that Brown? Brown on the near sideline. He could be gone, or did he step out along the way? I believe he did.
He just stepped out at about the 20, at approximately the 20. But that was a great run by Nick Brown right there. Ended up going up, hitting the side, and that's exactly what you do. Follow your blocks, ends up getting to the outside, and just got pushed out right here by the defender, and ended up getting the first down. So it was about 25.
What are they doing? They gonna throw a flag on this play?
Oh, there is another flag on the ground.
My. Boy, that was a great run, too, by Brown. Brown's starting to get some action in here. He's back next year. He's just a junior, smaller kid, but obviously showcasing some speed on that play.
Well, ended up finding out why he ended up getting it. Must have been a hold because they're going back pretty far.
And that'll push Newton Falls back. What been a promising run from Nick Brown all the way back to their own 46-yard line.
Penalty takes the ball back to the Falls 46-yard line. It remains first down.
Try to get some updates on some scores here. McDonald opened up a 26-14 lead over Jackson Milton, so DJ and I are happy about that. Being McDonald alums. Fitch 28-0 third quarter now over Twinsburg. Boy, Niles 41-6. Taking another.
That's a shellacking.
Playing that ball game against Streetsboro. But that's no big surprise there. Timeout taken by the Newton Falls Tigers. See if we can get some more scores in here, TJ.
I heard Coach Lazari from the field up here. He was not too happy that he had to waste that timeout.
Latonia 32-16 over Buckeye Central, fourth quarter. Canfield 28-2 over Kenston in the fourth quarter. Geneva, Hubbard, pretty good ball game. Hubbard did have the advantage right now, fourth quarter. Geneva Eagles leading the Hubbard Eagles in the Battle of the Eagles by a count of 22-19.
I see what you did there. Battle of Eagles, I see what you did there. At least it wasn't Philadelphia.
Fly, Robin, fly. 41-6 Streetsboro, we mentioned, over Niles in the fourth period. Riverside, 21-13 over Boardman in the third. John F. Kennedy has now opened up a 43-26 lead in the third period over a very game Louisville Rocket squad. McDonald 26-14 third period. Just as I do that, it was a nice group. Wellsville 25-7 over Valley Christian in the third.
Good job, champ.
And I know Tom Gregory wants to know about his Cheney Cowboys, what they're doing.
Not so well.
Lisbon 26-7 over Matthews in the third. And we'll try to get to some of the rest of the scores.
Ooh, that's a drop. That's a drop.
Yeah, attempted pass that time. Rapsick on the mark, and the ball was not taken in. And unfortunately, They look like Caden Short unable to come up with it. Caden Short, just a freshman. He's going to be around for a while.
As we said, if you get your hands on the ball, you got to catch it. He ended up having possession of the ball, started running before it, and ended up being incomplete.
And again, off the long penalty, putting Newton Falls back in the hole. It is 2nd down and 14. 2:37 to go. Clock frozen in the third period. Newton Falls enjoying a 19-point advantage. Big star of the game has been Carter Rapsick, who has 3 touchdowns to his credit tonight for the Newton Falls Tigers.
I'm getting cold. I'm putting on my hat.
Rapsick going to take and going to give it to his brother along the right side, Carter Rapsick, who's been the star. Rapsick going to reverse field from right to left. He's going to 30, 25, 20, and he's taken down on an ankle tackle by, I believe it was Elijah Frederick who saved the 6 that time, because that looked like touchdown number 4.
Oh, well, it wasn't going to be anyway, because right in the middle of the field
Another
there,
flag.
Yep, there's another yellow hanky.
You know, I'm looking down the field at the talents of Rapsick, and I probably should start training my eye and looking upfield, because these officials have thrown flags quite liberally tonight.
I'm telling you, it's just every other play just happens to see that there's some laundry on the field.
And it's worked against both squads, to be quite frank about it tonight.
Absolutely, it has gone against both squads, and as of right now, we have no idea what they're doing, and I don't think they know what they're doing.
I do know we're cold up here.
Yeah, that's true.
Glad to have TJ Robinson, Alyssa.
Oh, yeah.
Our sideline reporter up a little bit warmer, as she mentioned up here. At least
Hey, guys, this is Tom down in production control, and I want to tell you it's pretty darn cold down here, too.
Tom, I bet you're freezing down there. Tom says he's cold, too, in production control down there.
2 coats, a blanket, 2 pair of jeans, extra socks.
I got long johns on.
Yeah,
I got John. We should.
I see what you did there. Ha.
Yeah.
Ha, ha.
Hey, it's a pleasure working with you, gentlemen. You're professional, and I love what you're doing.
Well, thank you. We love working with you, too. Being a part of Gregory Films right here at Newton Falls TV is absolutely amazing. It's just a wonderful atmosphere to be around. We go and have wonderful people like John and Alyssa, and then our amazing production crew, and I'm just happy to be a part of this. Thank you guys for having me.
And now, 2nd down and 14 as we serenade one another. That's going to penalty flag and to push the football all the way down, DJ. It looks to about the 36-yard line. In all seriousness, I can't believe this year. We came in and Tom Gregory says, well, this is pretty much it for us this year, guys. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got to know Alyssa and DJ, and it's like, it's like the Carol Burnett song. I'm so sad.
Wait a minute, that must be like that crushed velvet suit you were talking about earlier.
You guys don't remember?
What year was that?
Yeah, back in the 70s. I used to watch it all the time. She used to sing this goodbye song.
Did you? What? 70s?
Seems like we just get started, and before you know it,
now you're serenading.
Comes the time we have to sing so long. All right, another penalty, and the Newton Falls faithful loves it. I'll stop singing, I promise. And that's going to back up Sebring, who's starting to become unhinged a little bit, with 2 or 3 to go in the third quarter, and probably frustrated too. Look at Sebring coaches just like, you got to be kidding me. 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go, and the penalty on the Trojans is going to put the football all the way to the 21-yard line.
Well, now we were talking about coaches on the field. Now Sebring's coach is on the field like, hey, man.
See if this works for me.
Right. It's like if Newton Falls can do it, so can we. So let's go ahead and try.
We've seen a couple of penalties waved off today.
Absolutely, with coaches coming on the field. So he's like, hey, I got to give my shot. It didn't work out too well for him.
Nah, he's going back. He said, I tried.
But I did manage to go ahead and put on my gloves during the whole time you were serenading.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Why is that? Because you're going to choke me and get rid of the evidence?
Absolutely not. Oh, I'm cold. I'm just cold, man. That's so morbid.
There's a handoff on the left side, and boy, Sebring getting frustrated and just powerful running inside. And really right now, that was a great job. Number 23, as we might be able to take a look here. just straight up the gut, and Lazari's starting to give other backs opportunities.
Absolutely.
DJ.
I think right there was Christian McCabe. He ended up coming in the game, ended up just, again, following his blocks. And you know who's really happy right now? That Newton Falls offensive line. They've frustrated Sebring to the point where they're, like you said, they were coming unhinged, and now they're basically just, putting their all into the blocks, and the running backs are definitely eating off of that.
Rapsick going to take, and he's going to spin and keep that clock going, D, for a few yards. Bring up, it looks like
about a second.
Second and short.
Yes.
First and goal. They're going to give it to him. Yep.
Well, as we see, Rapsack, he went ahead and he's doing what he's literally doing all day. And let me specify, that was Nick Rapsack this time. Ended up taking the quarterback draw, went around, broke a couple tackles, did a little spin move, got a first down.
Now down to the 9-yard line, and you got a first and goal situation with 59 seconds to go in the third quarter. And we'll find out what the Tigers have in mind here. But it's good that they're giving some of these other guys an opportunity to take off with the football. Boy, low snap that time out of the shotgun. Rapsick going to take, and he's going to barrel down and into the end zone, and that's a touchdown. And it's the quarterback this time, so it's been the Rapsick brothers show all night tonight.
Exactly.
And a great job that time by quarterback Rapsick. The southpaw, number 12, Nick Rapsick.
So is this the Carter and Nick show? Says anything you can do, I can do better, because that's exactly what it's looking like right now.
Boy, that's impressive.
Exactly, because he's going down and he ends up going and scoring. Ends up, next thing you know, his brother ends up scoring and he ends up going in. Now, here's the thing. No, wait, before
you're going to say it.
Extra point.
Here we go.
Extra point.
It's our favorite play.
This is our favorite play of the night so far. Just to let you know. Is the extra point, because
DJ and I, we get so fired up about it.
Exactly.
Sipka on for the conversion. Yeah, that was bad off the
no
kick,
way.
And they still got it through.
No way! I told you.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh!
That's the reason why the extra point is the most exciting play of the game.
Wow!
I mean,
32-6.
He muffed the snap and still got the ball through.
And it looked like as Sipka was approaching the ball, he wasn't going to even attempt to kick it. And he said, put it down, try it anyway. And it went through.
And it just went through.
Unbelievable. Where's the pressure for Sebring, though, is my question. 38 seconds to go, and now Newton Falls has opened up a 26-point insurmountable lead, 32-6, and they have scored 20 unanswered points.
Dude, this is what we were talking about pregame, actually. You were saying that is this a game to where Newton Falls can come in and actually get some momentum? I think they just answered the bill right there, especially with the fact that they're putting points on the board, not giving up points, but also, taking that momentum and taking it to the next level. And this is what Coach Lazari was talking about, building the dream right here. Go ahead and let me show you guys the blueprint. All you have to do is execute. Had to go ahead and tinker with the roster a little bit, and now we're seeing what the fruits of the labor come with, for the practices that you've been having.
Well, this was one of you were doing the games last year too, DJ.
Yes.
And I got a copy of the game put last year, and they beat Lisbon 28-7. That was one of the high water marks. But boy, tonight to come in and put up 32 points, and I don't care who you're playing, that's still impressive. And Newton Falls hadn't won a game coming in. That's pretty good.
And that's what it is for the momentum. I mean, you get to the point where they just did the switchback, and all right. But yeah, just to go ahead and see, like you said, just to see the momentum that is going on right now, and you see this team's fired up, and it's actually amazing to see, just to go ahead and show that, hey, like you said, you just wanted to go ahead and get one on the board, and with the projection of how this game is going, they could potentially do that coming up in the next 15 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yep. Lazoya, one of the up men, returned the kick. Not far, but still decent field position for the Trojans at the 36-yard line. The quarterback, Dylan Johnson, has gone all the way, but as DJ and I talked about, you look along that sparse sideline, they don't really have much choice. They've got to play 4 quarters, and they've got to go both ways. They just don't have the depth. Protected by 2 backs. Johnson going to give it to Elijah. Frederick. And boy, he's been a busy guy tonight, no doubt about it. But this time, maybe fatigue's starting to set in, DJ. He was dropped in the backfield. No gain. In fact, we're going to mark it a loss of about 2 and bring up a 2nd and 12.
Yeah, I can see that now. There's just pushback from the Newton Falls defense. Looks like that Sebring line is a little bit tired right now, and earlier in the game they were given them chances to go ahead and show his stuff. Now with nothing as far as being up front helping them, they're not going to be able to get out of the backfield, and that was just a play to show it.
And we'll try to continue to update you on scores as a break in the action here with just 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. Newton Falls, 20 unanswered points, has broken this one open. It was a close 12-6 ball game at one point. Newton Falls having jumped out to a 12-0 lead in the second period, only to see Sebring with a big touchdown play of their own, courtesy of Frederick, make it 12-6, but then it has been all Newton Falls. And the Tigers certainly in prime position to win their first game in 5 tries this year. And DJ, I got to ask you, because I am really unsure with the uncertainty of the COVID and everything. What is the rest of the case? Is it over? Is this it? I don't know, because I know they're not going to reschedule that one COVID cancellation that they had. So is this it? I mean, and if so, I mean, it's a great way to go out for Newton Falls.
I really couldn't tell you because I don't know, but from what it sounds like, Alyssa stated that they possibly have one more away game.
Okay, but no more home games. And Sebring trying to get something going offensively, and they're going to get a nice run. They're also going to get a first down as they get into Newton Falls territory, and a nice play that time by number 15, Noah Frederick. Noah Frederick get the football down to about the 49-yard line, just across the midfield stripe. 12 seconds to go, third quarter. 2 more games, I understand now, from our producer. Both will be road games, and Alyssa is tough.
This is awesome. There you go.
49-yard line, Sebring, good rolling room, and they're going to get another first down or near the first down marker.
And that's going to draw us to the end of the quarter.
That is going to draw us to the end of the quarter as we take a look at the replay, but a nice carry for a very busy man, Noah Frederick. Him and Elijah, the twin brothers, have just been ultra busy here tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, left, right, middle, they've pretty much done it all. And right now, we are going into the fourth quarter.
32-6, Newton Falls, and the Tigers, and they will have 2 more games. We have confirmed that they will both be on the road. And it's a fair question to ask. I mean, I'm basically coming in and I'm doing these home games this year with you guys, and it's hard to keep track. And even at the NFL level, guys, it's such a fluid situation. I mean, Odell Beckham was sent home from practice. I'm a Browns fan, too.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, he's going to get COVID on Steelers week. And fortunately, he tested negative for it, but he still wasn't at practice facility. But these games are getting rescheduled and moved around, even at the highest level. So you can imagine at high school what happens.
I mean, just think of the fact that we ended up having a Tuesday night football game. When's the last time you've actually heard of Tuesday night football? Now, if they go Wednesday night football, which they're actually contemplating, then we're going to get somewhere, because then we'll have literally football every day of the week. And who doesn't want that? I know I do.
I missed the Thursday game, though. I missed last night. I love my Thursday football. I know the players hate it because it's a short week, but... And by the way, speaking of things, Sebring, I think, did the right thing. They opted before it began in the playoff announcements where everybody made it. We're not going to play in the postseason. They were one of the teams that opted not to play in the playoffs.
Okay,
it's probably a smart thing to do.
I mean, it's literally everybody. This was the most difficult year as a player. Oh,
this might be a face mask.
Oh, that is a face mask. They still didn't call it?
Ironically, I don't see any flags flying on the field as Elijah Patrick takes off on the left side. For no gain, but boy, it certainly looked like a hand come in there and grab the face mask. Maybe we could take another look at it. Cole Marquette on the stop for the Tigers defense.
It looked like there was a handful of face masks on that one.
Here we go.
Okay, so here we go. He goes ahead and sweeps around to the left side. Yep, got it in there. We'll just say that's a questionable call.
You see how the head turned a little?
Yeah, and that's what you look for, especially on those kind of penalties, is the head turn, which it did. Hands were inside. which they were. But hey, they didn't get it.
Loss of 1, second down 11. Clock 11:13 to go in the fourth quarter. 32-6. This is again Noah Frederick this time. Noah Frederick, who has some great speed along with his brother Elijah. Noah Frederick with a lone touchdown for Sebring tonight. Wide carry, going to get the football all the way down to about the 16-yard line. Great run that time. First down.
Very nice run over to the going to the strong side. Ended up sweeping out to the right, got next to the sideline markers. First down.
Marking at about the 26, my error. 10:47, clock in motion. It is all Newton Falls, folks. And again, Johnson, the quarterback, going to take, going to hand off. Even the cameras had trouble keeping up with that one. Elijah Frederick pushed back. It looked like the quarterback might take off with it initially, but he hands it to Elijah Frederick, and there you see he's double teamed and eventually triple teamed and goes backwards.
And that's where, you know, we were talking about what I've been talking about all game. That's where that momentum comes in. And now, you know, your best players, it's fourth quarter, you know, very tough-nosed game, especially being down. Now, you know, we're not going to say, you know, you're playing, you know, because you are obviously always playing for pride. But at the same time, you know, we just want to go ahead and see, you know, what Sebring can, you know, how they finish. You know, it's never about where you start, it's about where you finish.
That's definitely true, and I definitely agree with that. It's that sprint marathon thing, you know.
Absolutely.
4 quarters is a marathon. Handoff on the right, not much yardage. Going to bring up a third down and long. Sebring at this point is probably playing for pride more than anything else. I mean, the deficit is just too much, I would think.
I mean, especially
and
with
Newton Falls shows no sign of letting up
is.
defensively.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. It's just the fact that, you know, when, you know, Tigers see blood in their eyes, they just go ahead and they, you know, attack, and that's what they're doing right now.
Third down, 12. Johnson again work from the gun. Going to throw. He got a screen pass and up to Elijah Frederick on the left side. He just slipped on the turf, which now is probably starting to accumulate some moisture as we near, what time is it now? 9:15 in the evening. Temperatures dropped and the moisture's picked up on the field.
Oh, and
another flag.
Yes, it is going to be a late personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, roughing the passer on the defense. If we go ahead and we watch this replay, and ahead and
Cole.
Ended up seeing Cole go ahead and it got called. I mean, they did miss a face mask, so they go ahead and, you know sometimes you get those makeup calls.
In Cole Marquette's defense, when you know, you're a big kid like that and you're generating a lesson, you're coming, and you know, as a defender, you want to get that quarterback. It's hard to stop yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Just put the brakes
to
on.
learn how to pull that off, to push, you know, to pull up, you know, because once you're committed, you're committed. So, but nevertheless, ended up being a first down for Sebring and now a timeout for Sebring.
Yep. Sebring will take a timeout. Dylan Johnson, the quarterback. We have after the roughing the quarterback, we'll have the luxury of a 1st and 10 situation at the 15-yard line of Newton Falls. And again, as we take a look at Newton Falls huddled up there, this is a situation where Sebring's playing for pride, and it's going to be a fun night for the Newton Falls football team. These players have deserved it. They put in their time this year, entered the contest 0-4, could have said, hey, man, what's the difference? We can just give up, or we can go out and play our last home game in 2020 and make it count.
And that's exactly what they're
on
doing
homecoming
right
night.
Yeah, and homecoming night. Oh, listen, when's the last time they won a homecoming? See, next year we should do trivia questions, and there should be trivia. Tom, that's a pitch to you, sir. You know, being the wonderful production guy you are, you should do trivia.
Trivia. Homecoming. Last time for Newton Falls. Ball on the 15-yard line. Sebring. Take, and not much running room that time. And actually back to the line of scrimmage, Elijah Frederick. So 2nd down and 10.
Sorry, guys. The only trivia I know is that from the TV show MASH.
Tom Gregory just knows MASH. That's it.
Goodness gracious.
Dun, 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 dun.
You guys are killing me, man.
You hate when I sing, DJ. Admit it.
No, it's absolutely great.
Really? You want to hear my greatest hits?
No,
I'm
thank
kidding.
you.
I knew you were just saying that to be nice. All right, Dylan Johnson going to take. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw in the right corner of the end zone, and I think he's got himself a 6-pointer. He
That
does.
was nice. I mean, like, that was just really nice hands. Ended up having the ball. Ended up
Cody Horning.
Yes. Cody with the touchdown. The feet, though. The feet are what got me. As you can see, he goes, takes his 3 to 5 step drop, ends up going, has a man open, and next thing you know, watch the feet placement. Yes, that's NFL style. 2 feet in, that's 6. You only need 1 foot in high school.
And Cody Horning, senior, 6'3", 180-pounder, big kid, comes up with the touchdown pass. And Sebring will try to convert for the first time successfully on their extra point attempt. Cuts the lead to 32-12. Still plenty of command. Johnson going to throw, and he's going to
incomplete.
Come up just the yard shy. He tried to go to Elijah Frederick that time, and looked like Frederick had an opportunity, but he came up about a yard short, 36 inches.
You go ahead and you see him with the pass. It ends up looking like it was complete. Just couldn't hold on to it, and unfortunately dropped it at the last possible second.
Yep, dropped it at his knee in the end zone. So unfortunately, you know, every inch counts there. So it is 32-12. Extra point, no good. And the clock shows 8:17 to go in the ball game. And good, you know, for Sebring. Got to give the kids credit there. Again, they could have easily just given up themselves, and they did fight back to get a touchdown in there.
It's a team that doesn't quit, just unfortunately got down early, and hey, you never know. This is the game of football. Anything can happen.
And I got to credit Dylan Johnson, as you mentioned. That was a fine toss down the far sideline for the touchdown to Cody Horner. No doubt about it. So 8:17 to go, and what's now turned into a frosty homecoming night.
For sure. And we're not talking about Wendy's.
No, not talking about Wendy's or Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, that is true. It is almost coming up to
Well,
Christmas.
there are some radio stations actually playing all Christmas music down in the area.
Oh, trust me.
I mean, my gosh.
Oh, no.
It's starting in September.
My fiance is all about that, man.
She likes it?
Absolutely loves Christmas music. It makes me just like spin my head, but as long as it makes her happy, then I'm happy. So
Absolutely, D. Absolutely. You got to make
shout
it
out, shout out to my girl Tosh. I love you, baby.
8:17 to go in the ball game, and the Sebring Trojans getting back onto the board. They had not scored, folks, since Noah Frederick's 61-yard run in the second quarter with 11:30 to go. So they had given up 20 consecutive points to Newton Falls. And a squib kick, and the Newton Falls Tigers are going to smother it as the clock works almost under 8 minutes to go. Football at the 43-yard line. You hate that.
Yeah, I am making faces at John right now because of the lack of kicking.
I don't understand it, but, well. Some scores around the league. Painesville Riverside 27-21 over Boardman in the fourth. Latonia has beaten Buckeye Central 32-16 as there's a stoppage in play. New Philadelphia 35-7 over Cheney in the third. Tom Gregory won't like that one. Chardon over Howland 42-0. They're just beginning the fourth quarter. Geneva comes back and beats Hubbard 22-19.
Wow, that was a good game.
McDonald in the fourth. DJ 28-14 over the Blue Jays of Jackson Milton.
There we go.
JFK 50-26 in the third. They've opened up what would have been a 29-26 close game against Lowville.
Right. That was really close at one point in time.
Harding 35-6 over Maple Heights. Newton Falls football going to take. Rapstick going to run off the left side, and not much running yard, maybe to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. But right now, Newton Falls consumed, or you would think they want to consume some of that clock up and work their way to their first victory of the season. Streetsboro beat Niles tonight 41-6. Fitch 28-0 last report in the third period against Twinsburg. Wellsville with an advantage over Valley Christian by a count of 25-7 as they enter fourth quarter of play. So there's some score updates for you.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Big Harv. You know who you are, man.
Harv?
Big Harv.
Is he watching tonight?
Oh, yeah, he's watching.
Big Harv. Newton Falls has the football, second down and 10. And they're going to give it to Rapstick, and Rapstick's going to be gone. Most likely, only one man can catch him, and he did.
Woo, he got the scoots. He wasn't playing.
I thought he was definitely gone, and it took a Herculean effort that time from Sebring to prevent a touchdown.
Absolutely. I mean,
Was it Cody Horning on the stop with the shoestring
was.
tackle?
Yes, it was. And he was moving. He hawked him as it looked like he was going to be gone, and it looked like a track meet, and he definitely was going to pass the baton because he ended up catching him and ended up saving 6 on that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rapsic can fly. You know, both these Rapsic boys have had the, you know, and this is something, DJ, that, you know, literally 30 years from now, they'll tell their kids, hey, you know, me and my brother, we did this together, and we went, you know, and you can always go back, and it'll always be there.
Absolutely.
Rapsic's going to throw, and he's going to have 6, and that was easy to Cole Marquette.
We've been talking about that matchup because it was just the fact that before that touchdown right there, the defender was just yanking on his jersey the whole time, like, yeah, you're not going to catch one. And at this point, he's like, yeah, it was bound to happen.
DJ, as Rapsic throws to Marquette, this play has been there all night. If they're not grabbing at the jerseys, Marquette, who obviously has great speed, athleticism, height, he's got the physical stature to have an advantage on the DB, but this play's been there all night from him. It's like they could do it at will if they want to with Marquette.
Oh, absolutely, and that was the whole thing. It was just a size matchup, and at that point they just went ahead, got a chance to utilize it without getting a penalty, and they ended up turning it into 6.
Now they're going to call a legal substitution against Newton Falls on the extra point attempt here, I believe. Score is 38-12 pending this extra point. And the clock showing 6 minutes and 56 seconds to go.
Oh, we're getting deep now. We're kicking again. We're getting deep.
They're going to try this.
Favorite play of the game. Favorite play of the game.
25 yards, baby.
Hey, we're getting in deep territory now.
Does Sipka have the leg?
I'm saying he did. From the last one, I'm going to say, I mean, when you muff the snap.
Kick is up.
What
it is good. No, he's off to the right. Oh, he did have the leg, though. I got to give it to you.
He did have the leg.
So that'll make it 38-12 now. Newton Falls quickly answers the touchdown for Sebring, and so the team straight touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and Newton Falls ain't going to let anything spoil their homecoming. It's a 26-point advantage.
Absolutely not. And, hey, you know, with the, like I said, momentum's on their side, and now you got, you know, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. Go ahead and ride this out, and then you get to ring the bell.
You get the ring the big victory bell tonight. And again, if just joining us, they can go back and watch it on Newton Falls TV. It's up on YouTube. Gregory Films production. Honored to do it. They had the 2020 King and Queen crowning, the homecoming ceremonies with the courts. And Blake Spurlock and Chloe Downing were the winners, respectively, of King and Queen for 2020. Take off your hat.
No.
Hey, looking at the camera. There we go.
That's right.
Alyssa taking a couple photographs up in the booth. She's got photography talent as well.
Absolutely. She's double duty. Look, wait, you got to hold up the camera.
Show the camera.
Showing the camera.
You see, we're just taking photographs in the booth, celebrating a Newton Falls certain victory. Sebring will take it, and they'll get it just shy of the midfield stripe, and they'll begin an offensive series with 6:49 to go at their own 48-yard line.
Thank you for visiting.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Ooh, man, I took my hat off, and it literally dropped like 20 degrees. Right.
It is cold.
Mm-hmm. I gotta put my hat back on.
They're going to mark the football at the 46-yard line, DJ. As Alyssa heads back down to the cold.
Yes, and I feel for her because I'm freezing up here.
Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of nip in there. But, you know, don't have to do any late November games or anything like that.
That is true.
That's one
That
good
is
thing.
true. Hey, and the lights worked brilliantly to this evening.
I'm telling you. Dylan Johnson out of the shotgun. Going to take and a throw. He's going to try what worked with Horning earlier for a touchdown, and this time it is close to being picked off. It's incomplete, however, along the far sideline and out of bounds. Second down and 10 now. with the clock stopped at 6 minutes and 39 seconds left to go. And Newton Falls on their way to their first victory for head coach Greg Lazar in his second tour of duty with the Tigers coming back this year.
Unfortunately, it looks like we got a Tiger down.
Looks like he's holding his calf out there. Taking a look, and looks like Coach Lazari, one of the people out there.
That's going to be
Shane Battison, yeah. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like a cramp, maybe. I'm not going to play doctor here, just the way they're holding him up. Because certainly if anything was broken, I don't think they would be handling his leg that way.
Yeah, that definitely looks, it's getting late in the game, coming in and out, defense, offense, and, don't see, many water breaks out on the side because, with it being colder, you're not as thirsty, but still got to pump them liquids because then, things like that happen.
Mm-hmm. And no Nick Oyster tonight. The last time you and I were together a few weeks ago against Brookfield, that kid was so courageous and seemed to do everything. And then tonight, it's like the next man up mentality for Coach Lazari, and the new quarterback tonight, coming through in an impressive way for the Newton Falls Tigers, and that being Southpaw Nick Rapsick.
And you see that him and Carter were big deal. They were big deals tonight, and they showed it. And like I said, this was their coming out party, and it's like, hey, welcome to the show, Rapsack boys.
Mm-hmm. They have been outstanding. Talk about the Rapsick, Carter Rapsick, 3 touchdowns tonight. His brother Nick Rapsick, 1 touchdown, and Nick Rapsick also a touchdown to Cole Marquette. Impressive.
Like I said, definitely their time tonight.
Oh yeah. Something to talk about for a long, long time. Newton Falls, 38. Sebring, 12. Coach Lazari, family man, he told me over the course of the summer, he learned from some of the legendary coaches we talked about earlier on that he worked under how to split time between giving up too many hours from your family to be with your family rather than spending all those hours being a coach. He goes, man, you got to live life too. And I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Dylan Johnson going to throw. Middle of the field, this could be picked off. Basically up there for grabs, and Newton Falls unable to hang on. And it just looked like a center fielder waiting on that time for the Newton Falls Tigers. Looked like Nick Brown was back there in deep safety coverage.
And it looks like we got some more laundry on the field yet again.
Face mask penalty.
Face mask penalty. Well, we don't want to start seeing penalties in the ball game here. It's been for the most part, a pretty well-played game. Some baffling calls on the part of the officials, some strange reversals.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To say the least.
Let's check out Alyssa down on the
All
side.
right, hey guys. So I'm down here with Chloe Downing. She just got crowned homecoming queen. Chloe, how does it feel?
Unexpected. That's what I
think. Aw, so sweet. I bet you're so cold. Are you trying to keep warm? Because I know I'm really cold right now.
underneath. Underneath from my hands, yeah.
Well, congratulations. I bet that means a lot to you. Back up to you guys.
Thank you,
congratulations from us.
What a beautiful homecoming queen. 2020.
Unexpected homecoming queen.
That's what she said. She didn't expect it.
You actually used that's what she said. That's pretty awesome. Got to give you that.
Dylan Johnson threw over the middle. He's trying to hit Cody Horning. Threw it just a bit low. And Horning, a pretty big kid at 6'3", unable to scoop that football in. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Sebring offense.
Back to Alyssa?
Yep. Nope, she's still down.
She's just smiling.
She's smiling on the sideline.
Smiling with the homecoming
queen. There she is. 2 beautiful ladies along the sideline. No doubt about it. 5:50 to go. The clock is stopped. And Newton Falls enjoying their win. They're about 5.5 minutes away from celebration on homecoming night, a victorious night. Sebring with the football. 3rd down and 6. Dylan Johnson tried to set up some sort of screen pass to the near sideline, but man, that thing was just busted with heavy pressure internally from the Newton Falls defense and had no chance of success.
Yeah, they went ahead and tried to set up the screen, and it didn't look like anybody knew it was a screen except for the quarterback going to the back. Everybody just came in just swept over it to the left side, and Johnson had no choice but to throw it just so he wouldn't take a sack.
And this is Sebring's 4th down and 6 situation. Clock now at 5 minutes and 43 seconds. And if Newton Falls is successful in holding them, you know they're going to be working on that clock. Dylan Johnson, handoff, and this is going to be a first down and maybe more for Elijah. And Elijah Frederick is going to get a first down inside the 35-yard line all the way down to the 33. So Sebring still playing hard, man, as the clock nears the 5.5-minute mark.
Again, like I said, this is a team that does not quit. They're going to keep pounding until the clock says 0. So that's why the game is never over until you see 000 on the board.
And you got to think Newton Falls from a defensive standpoint. It's like, we don't want them to put up a potential 20 on us, because if they get the 2-point conversion, that's exactly what they'll be.
Absolutely. And then, with the way the kicking game is going, you could end up sneaking in an onside kick.
Mm-hmm. Motion for Horning left to right, and the ball was mishandled, but it apparently landed in a Sebring Trojans' arms, and no damage done, but no gain either. And, in fact, maybe a little bit of a loss.
Yeah, it looks like a loss at 2.
Yeah, 2nd and 12. 1st and 11, 2nd and 12, if you will. Timeout for the Trojans.
Yeah, it looked like Johnson was not too happy when he was getting up off the ground. Don't know if it was just a miscommunication as far as the snap to holding the ball, but he did not look happy in taking that snap.
Take a look at the sideline for the Sebring Trojans. Again, second-year head coach Matt Seidel. He has got some work ahead of him, and he knew that coming in here. He said, I want to make this a winning football program. Interesting about the Sebring staff, too. And Seidel's been there. He was a former player. He played at Sebring. He coached at Little Trojans. He coached at junior high. Almost his whole staff had played at Sebring. It's like a really big Sebring thing with the coaching staff. All the coaches are from there. It's like, if you ain't from Sebring, you don't matter. That's what it's like.
It's total hometown feel, with it being, deep over in this side, going to Mahoning County, almost into Portage County. It's a tight-knit community down there in Sebring. So they went ahead and said, hey, we're going to do this on our own, and that's what they're doing.
McDonald has beaten Jackson Milton 26-14. Makes DJ and I happy. That is final. And not much running room that time, and just getting bullied all over the place by the Newton Falls defense was Frederick, the ball carrier that time. This time, Noah Frederick. He just looked like he was manhandled and shoved out of bounds. Third down and long.
Yeah, he didn't have he had nowhere to go on that play as they went ahead and tried to sweep. It didn't work out. Ended up scrambling for his life. Ended up losing a couple.
A 4-yard loss, in fact, DJ. Third down 15. Clock at 4:37. Temperature has dropped. Probably into the upper 30s, I would guess.
Yes.
Started just above 50, or maybe mid-40s, I'm sorry. Frederick, the ball carrier, he got loose, and Frederick is carrying Newton Falls defenders all the way down to the 21-yard line, and that may be good enough for a first down. That's an amazing run.
Unfortunately, he looks hurt as well.
Wow. And that's what happens, too, when you try... you're carrying 3-4 guys and taking on a whole defense. That extra effort sometimes will, make you pay the toll physically. And hopefully it's nothing serious. He looks like he's about ready. He wants to snap up if he can. What a great run, though, by Frederick. Doesn't take away from anything on that effort. That was tremendous. And he gets up and he's going to walk it off.
Yeah, as we go ahead and we watch this replay, ends up going ahead and taking, end up almost like an ISO, but then he bounced it out to the left. Ended up coming across, broke a couple tackles, and
look how many guys it takes to get him down.
He's just carrying 2, 3, 4 Tigers, and he's just carrying them. That is a load right there.
We mentioned Frederick, not a tall kid, but 171 pounds and only 5'8", and he's definitely got some power and he got some speed. Noah and Elijah, twin brothers, both outstanding athletes. Ball at the 21-yard line. Unbelievably, he picked up the first and 10 on that incredible effort run. Clock now working toward 4 minutes to go. Newton Falls comfortably 26 points ahead. Handoff on the left side, and they're going to get down to about the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 5, so they're still playing hard, and that's Cody Horning, the ball carrier that time.
Yes, they're trying to get the ball into the playmaker's hands, and Cody is definitely out there doing his thing for sure. And as of right now, it went ahead, and it looks like Frederick's back in the game as well.
Coach Seidel hoping that And I know we wanted this win because they won 2 last year, and it's a shortened season this year. There would have been 3. That's progress,
Absolutely.
like we mentioned, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
But this is also another game where, this is an unexpected game. They didn't come in to the season looking to play Newton Falls.
Noah Frederick, he's going to try to get wide on the right side, and he's going to be hemmed in and taken down at about the 13-yard line, and that's going to leave him, or put him close to the first down marker. 3 minutes to go, 3:01. Third down coming up.
I thought he got tackled out of bounds unless they're going with a running clock.
Well, this is a 26-point game now at this point. But no, I guess they marked him inbounds. And Sebring, I tell you what, though, again, battling to the very end.
Absolutely.
Johnson, the quarterback, will work the gun. Handoff again to Frederick. Elijah, arm tackle, trying to get to that first down marker to the best of his ability. I'm going to say from this far angle, he's going to come up just a bit short.
Yeah, looking up at the line judge over there as we watch the replay. Ends up going, runs the sweep like they've been doing pretty much all game. Ended up getting 3 Tiger hats on there, and there was no, you could just tell the side judge didn't even move.
Well, they're going to have to get down to about the 12. The ball situated about the 13 and bringing up a 4th and 1, and we're working now under 2 minutes to go, G.
It's a long one.
Yep. It's a long one. Shotgun snap, handoff, pretty good running room, and this is going to be 6. And again, we talked about it. Sebring not giving up. Noah Frederick with his second touchdown in the ballgame.
Now, this is something personal to me. I never understood being 4th and 1 and people running shotgun. I always was, I formation, get behind your big line, go ahead and run it. But hey, I mean, it works. I'm just saying that, it's not my favorite because it just seems like, shotgun, you're giving yourself a 5-yard hole. But hey, if it works, it works.
Absolutely. And Noah Frederick, 2 touchdowns tonight. So he's doing his part for Sebring to be the closest resembler to a Rapsick brother. They're going to do I formation again, and Dylan Johnson will take the snap again. It's low, and a pitch out to the left side, and it looks like Frederick gets across for the 2-pointer.
Yeah, he got it, and I mean,
So Elijah Frederick doing it, the Frederick boys doing it all.
Hey, that looked like that was a jump ball. I mean, he ended up making the pitch. He luckily got the pitch out, and then, played a little bit of hot hands with it, and then next thing you know, brought it in and got it in for 2.
Yep, so the Frederick boys and the Rapsick boys. It's really been...
Absolutely, it's been the brothers.
The brothers against the brothers is what it's really amounted to in this game. 38-20, and the clock shows just a minute 45, and you can bet we'll see an onside kick coming up.
Well, I mean, haven't they all been?
Yeah. Well, for the most part, you are exactly right.
I mean, they've all been. It's like you're playing
you're right.
Arena football. It's like the ball's been usually on the 50.
DJ, I don't even know this. I'm guessing that you've coached at some point along the line. You seem like you have that pedigree in you or something. I don't know.
I always said that I've always wanted to coach football because I like studying the game and things like that. And this is the next best thing because I get to see, everything that happens on the field. I get to come in and coach, be with you, met you for the first time for this season. Ended up having a great time. Didn't know that you had such a singing voice. And
pretty impressive, I'd have to say.
Absolutely. So, see, with you doing that, then just like me, I'm impressing you with my football knowledge.
Look at you. I'm telling you. Well, Frederick with a touchdown run, 1 minute 45, and then the brother with the 2-point conversion, and then now it's a 38-20 ball game. And so, Sebring trying to get the football back again, and if not, it's probably a safe bet. Newton Falls will look to run the rest of that clock out and claim victory at a homecoming 2020 at the hands of the Sebring Trojans, who will fall to 2-6. With a pooch kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. Whew, no big surprise there. We've seen that a lot, too, today.
That's pretty much been all night.
Yeah.
It's on both sides.
I mean, DJ and I got a little, we did get excited a few times tonight about the extra point, but that's because kicking tonight has been...
not the strongest.
It has been an adventure in just about every way, shape, and form.
An adventure, because it really has been.
Yeah, I would say that.
It's like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. 1:45 to go. Newton Falls 38, Sebring 20. And again, Newton Falls apparently, unless COVID changes anything again, have 2 road games left. So Greg Lazari's team will go into those road games if they in fact are permitted to be played and there are no COVID interruptions with some confidence, momentum after this contest.
Absolutely. This was something to go ahead and hang your hat on. And right now it looks like they're going to go into victory formation, or they might just go ahead and run a couple plays.
Handoff,
nice.
And not much doing as Carter Rapsek was wrapped in the backfield that time. Sebring trying to get in there, trying to make anything happen. Unfortunately, that's going to keep the clock rolling against Sebring's defense, and that'll bring up a second down at about 13 on a 3-yard loss.
The one thing that I do see actually in just that play right there, when you end up going, you make a good hit, you end up helping the other guy up. That's just great football to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could be, super disappointed in yourself, disappointed in your team, but to go ahead and actually help up another, a player of the opposing team after you make a good play, that's just great sportsmanship, man, and we need more of that in football.
I agree.
Well, especially at the higher levels of football.
I agree. In the last game we did, the Brookville game, there were some hard feelings there at the end. Look at this. Newton Falls almost broke it. Sebring asleep at the wheel, and Newton Falls, and I believe that was McCabe, nearly broke that one off of right guard and went all the way.
Yeah, and I mean,
look at this.
Just look, if it wasn't for the shirt tackle, and he was still carrying 1-2, Trojans on, going down, and they ended up getting the first down. Now it's to the point where this is the favorite formation of everybody in the world, victory formation.
Absolutely. Christian McCabe, 5'10", 180-pounder.
This doesn't look, okay, I was going to say, that doesn't look like victory formation.
Looks like a wing-2 backfield to me.
Yeah.
Under center, going to take one knee. There's victory formation. As Nicky Rapsik takes the knee, and that'll end the ball game. 19, 18, 17 seconds. You see Rapsik going out there and congratulating a happy Greg Lazari, getting his first win of the year. And my gosh, Newton Falls, we've done it, man, and it's on homecoming night. The Newton Falls Tigers with an explosive, really, when the game was 12-6, just took it bull by the horns from there in the second quarter and roll on to a 38-20 win. What are your thoughts on this contest as we look at a jubilant Newton Falls football team?
This
DJ?
Was absolutely something that they had in them. As far as the Tigers, they had this in them. They just didn't know how to put it together. And you've seen it, and they still had some things going on with this game as far as penalties and things like that. Those are things that can be cleaned up. The discipline was amazing to see the guys go up, and now you hear the fireworks going off for the win. And now they get to come out after they do the alma mater and come down and ring the bell. This is something that they can go ahead and Coach Lazari and the junior class down can go ahead and build upon for next year. Absolutely wonderful game to watch.
Well, let's review the scoring. There was plenty of it on a homecoming night where Newton Falls is victorious. Newton Falls improves to 1-4. Sebring drops to 2-6. Carter Rapsik, 19-yard run in the first quarter, 4:59 mark, capping off an opening 71-yard impressive drive for the Tigers, and Coach Lazari missed extra point on a 2-pointer, 6-0 Tigers. Tigers advance that lead to 12-0. Carter Rapsik again with a second score, this time from 5 yards out. Unsuccessful again on the 2-point conversion, 12-0 in the second period. Then Sebring gets on the board, 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the second quarter as Noah Frederick, electrifying 61-yard touchdown run. They miss a 2-point conversion. It's still 12-6 Newton Falls. Newton Falls and Luke Dickey, 69-yard screen TD that looked like it was going to be called back from a penalty. It was not. The flag was waved off 18-6 as we went into the locker room at intermission in favor of the Newton Falls Tigers. Newton Falls came right out in the second half and they punch him in the mouth. Carter Rapsik with his third touchdown, this time from 12 yards out, 6:58 mark, up the advantage for the Tigers at 25-6. Then Nick Rapsik, his brother, gets into the act with a 9-yard touchdown run. Zipka gets the extra point, 32-6, and that's the way we ended the third quarter. Sebring fighting to the very end. Cody Horning, 15-yard pass from Dylan Johnson, making it 32-12 with 8:17 to go in the final period. And then Cole Marquette with an impressive touchdown catch from Nick Rapsick, making it 38-12 with 6:56 to go. And then finally, Noah Frederick touchdown run with just a minute 45 on the clock, and his brother Elijah Frederick getting the 2-point conversion. That's how we finish up 38-20.
Wow, just hearing all the scoring. I mean, what was the first thing we talked about? Newton Falls didn't really know how to put points on the board. They just scored 38 tonight.
Yeah, very impressive. So I got to tell you, DJ, it was a real honor working with you. Crazy year.
Awesome working with you. Oh, we get to see him down there. Look at the boys. They end up having a foot race down, and they're going to go under the scoreboard, and they're going to ring the bell for the win that they got this evening.
That is so cool to see on homecoming night. You see the credits rolling. DJ, it's been a real pleasure to work with you. Tom Gregory Phelps, can't say enough about him and his production stuff. How about Alyssa Dangerfield, our on-the-field reports, had never done it before. Cameras, Steve, Amy, Steve, Brock, Bob, running as the replay operator. These guys are second. And a big reason why I wanted to come here is because I know Tom Gregory and I know kind of staff he assembles and the people that want to work for him. And it's been a big part of it. As you see, Newton Falls joyfully ring the Liberty Bell, victory bell on winning night here on homecoming 38-20.
And just to see like how it was just like, oh my goodness, this game was absolutely amazing.
Well, let's see if they can keep the momentum going. For DJ Robinson and our producer Tom Gregory, I'm John Baccio. Tigers win 38-20, their first of the year. Congratulations,
Check out my
Falls.
hat.
I love this hat. Look at this guy.
This hat is awesome.
And thank you, Tiger Den Pizza. You kept us.
Yes, Tiger Den, you guys are amazing.
I'm not even hungry now. It was so delicious. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good night. Congratulations, Tigers.